Ulonkata bati yada tó yẹ kó máa da ifá. Inú tó yẹ kó jẹun ló fi bí pa. Ọba tálá, ọba takuntakun. Ṣàngó, Èṣù, Ògún, Ọya, Ọ̀ṣun. Ìwọ ló ń bọ̀ nílé. Kí ni ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán ṣe nílé yìí o? Ó jẹ́ lọ́jà.
Alafia, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I'm your host, Orisa Gbemi, and today we're joined by a brand new guest to the tribe, man, in these Ashe streets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Sifu Oyi, aka Coach. What's good with you, man? How you doing, brother?
Peace, 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 man. Thank you. I'm blessed and highly favored, and blessed by the best. Too sexy to be stressed and worth my weight in diamonds and gold. That's how I'm feeling. And I'm my ancestors' wildest dream, period, just like you.
Yes, sir. I know that's right. I'm going to take that. Ashe, 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 oh. Yes, sir. And the ancestors been very present in these Ashe streets over the last couple of weeks. Well, really from day one, but they've been going hard over the last few weeks.
It's Taurus season. It's Taurus season. That's what they're showing out. They know this is that crop. The bag, you know?
Listen. Yes, sir. So with that, man, it's been a lot going on in the world, you know, and I feel like it all kind of tie into what we're going to get into today. But the most important thing is this, the topic, you know, which is the multiverse. And, you know, I got introduced to you, maybe not even a week ago, I don't think yet. And I remember you sending me some of your work, you know, and I got to check out probably about 3 or 4 of your pods, and I did some dabbling in one of your books, you know, so I really kind of got, you know, kind of like a little sample, like a little mall food court sample, you know what I mean, of what we have in store today. But for the tribe and for those who may not know you, you know, on this platform, because I know you got a nice following in regards to people who, you know, study your work. Can you kind of share how you got into the world of these sacred, you know, medicines that, you know, and technology? You know, how did your path and your journey begin?
Because I grew up playing football and I was competitive and I played nose guard, and I wanted to always get to the quarterback. I wanted to get to the quarterback more than you did. You know what I'm saying? And so then I'm 12 then. I didn't know anything about like the whole, you know, Pan-African movement. Then I get to A&T. And then I'm an intellectual, so I'm competing with other intellectuals because I'm now learning about Black history. So now I'm competitive in how much people I can study with and all the greats and things like that. And then reading all the books. So I graduated with a degree in history and had done all the things. And then my doctor says, read this book called The Gospel of Psychedelic Gospels. Psychedelic Gospels. And it was a white man and a white woman who were going to all the temples that I had been studying for the last 25 years, and they were seeing mushrooms on the wall and right in plain sight. And they was like, yeah, this was influencing everything. Everything came from the mushrooms, the pyramids, because Baba Kindi was saying that, well, I hadn't met Baba Kindi yet, so I didn't know that Baba Kindi was going to say it is the first technology, but I'm gonna get to that part in the story. So I'm looking in the book and I become competitive with these 2 white people that I don't even know. And I was like, I gotta go and see what these white folks is doing. And then my doctor said, yeah, this is what they're using in Silicon Valley. Now I already had a background in tech. So I just typed in mushroom Silicon Valley. So if anybody listening, you just type in mushroom Silicon Valley and watch what comes up. The first article was Forbes magazines. And I was like, Forbes is talking about sacred mushrooms in Silicon Valley and problem solving. I was like, my people need this. I'm going in, Dano. And so I was like, yo, let's get it in. So in 2018, on my birthday, actually tomorrow is the anniversary of the first time I took mushrooms in 2018. So tomorrow will be 7 years, you know what I'm saying? Ashe to that. And my life changed that night when I was 48 years old, and I took 5 grams of golden teachers. And my doctor was there, and he held space for me. And that was the first night. And the next day he said, man, we're gonna have to learn to grow these. if we're gonna be taking more because they're expensive. And I was like, what? I was like, man, I kill houseplants for a living. And so he was like, you can just call this dude named Kendi, and he got a course that you can take, and he'll show you how to grow mushrooms. And I was like, Kendi, where do I know this name? Kendi, where do I know this name? So I'm not putting two and two together. And so then I get Kelendi's number. I call him. I say, yo, let me get this video to grow mushrooms. He was like, here you go. And it was over. Got that video, came home, because the videos I started watching, what Kendi was talking about, it's very important that we know how to grow our own. Like people always talk about growing your own food and let your food be your medicine. Mushrooms is the highest of the high for what you can grow. You can't grow bufo. You can't grow and it's the most original. It doesn't need any additives. Like ayahuasca's cool, but you still got to add fire and water and add different things together. This you just put it in your mouth. And so that was how it started. I was growing small quantities, and I was like, I really didn't trust these white people. I don't know. Y'all don't know the lineage of where this stuff is coming from. And Baba Kindi had a strain called Tamarian Blues. So I had already studied with Malachi York, so I knew what the word Tamaray meant. The word Tamaray, the word Tamaray is the ancient word for Kemet. It's Egypt now, then it go back to Kemet, and before Kemet, it was Tamaray. And Ta is land, Ma is water, and Ray is light or sunshine. That's where the word tomorrow comes from, Tamaray. And so now you got some mushrooms that you call them the Tamarian Blues, and I call myself a Tamarian. So what are we doing here? And I was like, dang, did he know Dr. York? But he'd already been studying ancient Kemet, and he learned that from Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark. Those are people that he was, studying with in the 70s. So
masters.
Masters hang with masters. Masters do master stuff. And so he had acquired this strain of mushrooms from two priests in Africa, one in South Africa and one in Ghana. And he came back and spliced them together and created a new strain called the Tamarian Blues, because mushrooms blue, the psychedelic entheogenic mushrooms, the psilocybin, when you twist them, there's a blue coloring on the inside. So he called them Tamarian Blues. So if you want to interpret it for the streets, Egyptian blues. That's everybody talking about Egyptian lotus or purple lotus or blue lotus. Well, Baba Kindi had that Egyptian blues, but it didn't give you the blues. You know what I'm saying? It let you drift away in that blue. You know that royal blue on the inside of the pyramids?
Yeah, the first thing I thought about was Frank Lucas. Yeah, man. Yeah,
just like that. And so he became, as you say, he could be that's funny you use the word Frank Lucas, because I didn't know until after Kendi became at that moment, he's teaching all these sciences. He got all these videos, but nobody knows he's Bumpy Johnson's grandson. So Bumpy Johnson, Godfather of Harlem, season 1, season 2.
Wow.
Godfather of Harlem, Bumpy Johnson is Baba Kelendi's grandfather.
Bruh,
period.
You talk about like, I didn't want to interrupt, because first and foremost, I didn't know you was a student of Doc. So we already are like, this can go way further than what I thought, because you a student of Dr. York. I didn't know that. So now, and then you tell me that. But what's dope about that is Professor Small is the doggone, I want to say he's like the executive consultant or something, or project consultant manager or something like that for the Godfather of Harlem show. So that's dope, man. That's dope. That's real dope.
They from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Frank Lucas.
Yeah.
I mean, Bumpy Johnson is the family from South Carolina, and so I really started getting down heavy with Kendi because he was in Detroit. I was dating somebody that was in Detroit at the time, so when I would go up to see her, she would just drop me off at Kelendi's house, and I would just be over there soaking up good game. Now this is like 2018, and so things moved very rapidly after that mushroom hit my mouth. And now I remember one of the times I interviewed Kendi, he said, I took my first mushrooms in 1973 and I'm on that same trip. I was like, what? He was like, my first mushrooms 1973 and I'm on that same trip. So I'm on that same trip, May 17, 2018. And then he was like, you want to try Bufo? I was like, Bufo, what's that? He was like, yeah, Dr. Jerry is coming in from Mexico and he's gonna come up to Detroit. It's normally $1,000, but I got him to do it for $250. He was like, come on. So I was just like, well, let me go see, because Kendi was about bringing the best medicine to the hood. If you was melanated, you was a person of color, he knew that you already had trauma. He knew that we didn't have, he knew that they were not trying to direct any real help to us other than guns, drugs, and pharmaceuticals. So he was just like, if I can get these back in here into the hood, that will be what? Right knowledge. Because the mushrooms are the source of right knowledge. They came here. Mushrooms come from the Biru. Let me just speak in that language. You know what I'm saying? The Biru sent the luggage down. The Biru sent the luggage down, and then they sent down Inky and Enlil. See, there would be no gold on the planet if there were no mushrooms, because the mushrooms, the fungi was breaking up the sedimentary rock, so there would be other minerals. Fungi is like 3 million years old, like 1 billion years old. The earth is 4 billion, fungi is 3 billion, and then everybody else came. So all these images that you see out here, that's a mushroom, or like a Santa Claus, or the apple in the Garden of Eve, all that, that's a mushroom. There's a whole bunch of stories. We know how they took the story of Jesus from ancient Kemet, right? From Heru. We knew that they took the story of Krishna and tried to make a Jesus. Well, they took the story of the mushrooms and made everything. And so 1 year later, on my birthday, I end up in Detroit in Kelendi's basement with Dr. Jerry. And I had just got introduced to the technology of Yi Ming Zhu. So Yi Ming Zhu means bright night pearl. And when you look at Dragon Ball Z, when you look at Thanos and he had the glove with the infinity crystals, that's what Yi Ming Zhu are. And Baba Kindi was like, yo, you need to get your Yi Ming Zhu to help you on your entheogenic journeys through the multiverse. He said, because that's why we take high doses, so we can get up out of here. So when you get up out of here, now you are traveling in your home territory. Right? You could be some animal. You could be a lion. You could be a snake. You could be a caterpillar. Or you could be a jaguar. You could be a dragon or whatever, right? You could be an elephant. You could be a rabbit, right? Traveling out in shape shifting for real, not limited by the body form. And I was like, let me get so I got the Yi Ming Zhu, and then I got the Bufo the very next day on my birthday. And my life really, really ain't been the same since then. And I got my socks blew off, because one serving of Bufo at 100 milligrams is equivalent to 30 dry grams of mushrooms. So Terrence McKenna said 5 grams was the hero's dose, but Baba Kindi was already doing 20, 30, and 40 grams already. So it was like, well, if y'all said 5 grams was a hero's dose and 7 is God, that's the God dose, then what's 10? What's 20? What's 30? What's 40? That's why we honor Kendi like that and say he was G-O-D. He was generator, operator, destroyer. You know what I'm saying? And he was a Pisces. He was a projector. And he had all this history, man. His knowledge base was ridiculous, because he wasn't going around telling everybody that he studied with John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben. He brought Dr. Ben to Detroit. So Dr. Ben would be there for a week. He'd study with him. He'd teach on the weekend, and then he'd stay another week. So he would get 2 weeks out of it. Everybody else would get like a day and a half. And he was on this year after year after year. Plus, he was a bodyguard. He was one of Aaliyah's bodyguards when she was messing with R. Kelly. Baba Kindi got all this. And if you could Google Wesley Snipes martial arts masters, and he had Kendi on there. It was like a night at the Apollo, but it was somewhere else, and it was a lot of martial arts masters from around the world, and Kendi was on that show. And so after my Bufo experience, like, that's how I got introduced. And then 3 months later, in August, Dr. Jerry was coming back to Detroit, and I was like, I don't want to do Bufo again, but I'd like to learn more. Would you like me to help you, or do you need some help? And he was like, yeah, you can be my assistant. And that turned into me traveling around the U.S., Mexico. Like, I went he was just like, oh, I'm going to Miami. Then we going out to see Mike Tyson at the Tyson Ranch. Then we got to go to San Francisco. Then we got to go here. Then I got to go to Mexico. Why don't you just come with me?
Right.
I was like, what? How did all this happen this fast? What are we doing? What?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I break out, you know what I'm saying? And then that was like a wild ass 3 weeks right there, Holmes. That was one of the wildest 3 weeks of. So I'm assisting these people on high doses of Bufo, and Bufo is called the God molecule. It's called the God. If you type in God molecule Bufo, that's why you was like, is that an acronym? No.
Yeah.
But we say frog because it is a frog. We say frog. People have come out of the Bufo ceremonies and she said, oh, frog stands for forever relying on God. Forever relying on God, because the mushrooms peel the hood back so you can have fresh air. The Bufo peel your skull back so you can have fresh vision. But the Bufo is really a love element, because in the community, you know, we in our Alshe community, unfortunately, we don't have enough love, and we don't have enough self-love, which means we don't love our neighbors, which means we have a very weak connection with the Creator, and the Creator is nothing but love. And so Bufo, that's why we say Bufo is undefeated, because at the end you're going to feel a love that you've never ever felt in your life before. So a lot of people be like, how you know that? You don't know me. Well, I done gave it to the thuggest of thugs. I done gave it to the doctors of doctors. I done gave it to all Chinese, white, black, women, men, children. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and it's just coming from people giving me their feedback after their experience, like within minutes. It's like, yo, oh man, I know what love is. I know what an orgasm is. I know what joy is. I know what peace is. Because higher doses, like high dose mushrooms, high dose Bufo, helps you remove the desire to do harm to yourself. And a lot of times when we see what is self-hate? Self-hate is the desire to do harm to yourself. That's wrong knowledge. That's misdirected knowledge, right? So now we bring in something that can flip that over. So now, and all we got to do is experience it. Once we see somebody dancing, we do the dance 2 or 3 times, we got it. But if we see crime, or we see selling drugs, or we see pimping, we do it 2 or 3 times and we got that too, right? We master. That's the downside of being a master race. You know what I'm saying? That's the downside of all this good ass melanin. You can pick up anything, including the wrong thing. And so Baba Kindi I'm just very thankful that he shared with me as much of his journeys around, you know, the world and his experiences with mushrooms and things like that. And then he wanted me to help him do a psychedelic conference in 2020 in Detroit. And this was like in January. And I was like, okay, but let me bring you to Atlanta and let me let you speak, because all the videos you see on YouTube of him speaking are in front of, you know, vanilla audiences. And they always were saying, you have 5 minutes left, or they were cutting him off or putting him on the undercard or something like that. And so I was like, ain't gonna be nobody in front of you, ain't gonna be nobody behind you. I want you to let your nuts hang. I want you to go all the way till you get tired. And the crazy part is, we was at a bar restaurant with a stage owned by the Nawapians in Atlanta. So that's how I got the hookup. We was over there at their spot, and they was just like, what you talking about? As long as people is buying food and ordering drinks and stuff, he dropping right knowledge, don't worry about it. We told you 10. It was like, let them run. So by the time we took that last group picture, it was probably like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that was the last class that he taught, you know what I'm saying? And then the next day he taught a mushroom grow class to 30 people. And I got to witness that and watch him teach in real life. You see what I'm saying? And how he would move through the room. And, you know, he taught me how to teach that. And then he left Atlanta, went to South Carolina, then he went back to Detroit. went to Chicago to do a ceremony for another black martial artist, Talona, Grandmaster Talona, passed right before Baba Kindi. Then Baba Kindi passes on the 20th. Then 1 week later, Credo Mutwa passes. And so one of the psychics in my network, she said that all of these masters were going home on the other side to train our ancestors how to fight. Because, Kalindi used to train CIA, special ops, Navy SEALs, hand-to-hand weapons, stuff like that. So when he started teaching the brothers and sisters in Detroit, the same thing he was teaching, the FBI and stuff like that, they sent him a cease and desist. And Kalindi was like, get it with your muscle. I ain't stopping teaching nothing. So he was still giving these particular sciences, and it was just, him passing it on just opened up so many gates and windows and doors and chambers for everybody that was, had the opportunity to come in front of that teacher.
Wow. That's deep, man, because I'm familiar with Baba Credo Matwa's work as well. The only one, what was the first brother's name before you named Kalindi and Matwa that transitioned? What was the first one's name?
Tolanaa. Tolanaa. I think that's his name.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the only one I wasn't familiar with, but definitely Matwa. But I'm gonna bring a question to the floor real quick. Normally I wait to the end, but because this one
go ahead.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind answering this one. So I got a tribe member that said, how do she get scheduled for a session? Shout out to Tara Michelle for joining us on the live.
Oh man. So that's easy. You can go over to my website, The Cosmic Jedi, and then you just click on the link that says ceremonies. And cosmic is spelled with a Z. COZMIC Jedi.com. TheCosmicJedi.com. And then you'll see a link at the top that says ceremonies. And then you're going to have two choices. Fruit of the Gods is the name for mushrooms, because in Mexico, that's what they called mushrooms, because the Europeans didn't want the Mexicans to learn how to read and write. So the Mexicans said, when we eat these mushrooms, we talk to God. So these are the fruit of the gods. And so Kalindi started saying, this is the fruit of the gods. And so that's when you look on my site and it says fruit of the gods, then you just click that button and just drop your information. Or there is also a chat button on there, and you can just drop you can just send me a chat from the website and just leave your number and just say you want to get a ceremony or something. I'll get back in contact with you.
Yes, sir. Ashe. Yeah, I knew that was going to be coming. So I said, let me go ahead and ask now. Look, I got to go ahead and ask now so I can put the links in there, and then that way the tribe can kind of check in and we'll hit it again on the way out too. But that's dope, man. So now I did, like I said, I got a chance to check out some of the work, especially the interviews with you and Baba Kalindi, as well as a couple of the ones of his, individual presentations that you were telling me about. And I love the fact that I didn't know him. I wish I would have got a chance to meet him before he transitioned. But I still could feel his energy, and I could feel his presence through just watching. You know what I mean? Like, just even like what you just shared just now, I wasn't privy to all of that, but I was privy to some of it based upon, the videos that I watched based, on you sharing with me. But he definitely has a presence about him, a very, commanding presence as well. So it's like the fact that what I heard in just a little bit of research I was able to do from the time we were introduced till now, and then you kind of filling in a lot of dots and blanks for me, he sounds like he was like the ultimate warrior, because he definitely was a very cerebral, thinker, a very calculated, you know what I mean, very masterful, thought leader and thinker. So for him to be one of the, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you would know more than I would, but I would say that he's definitely one of the forerunners and the thought leaders and the progenitors of this culture, especially in the melanated community. Is that correct?
100%, 1000%. He's our Terrence McKenna. He's and that's the thing. My relationship with Kalindi really was about marketing him and getting his message out to a wider audience, because when Black people start doing research to take mushrooms, we have an innate fear. So when we do, the first 60 videos is all white people. So psychologists have proven that it's best for you to get your medicine from your own culture. Just like when you go to a place, you should eat the food that's grown locally. That's the best food. So when best food, eat locally. Where was I going with that? Dang, what was I about to say?
Probably about him being, well, it started with us with me asking about him being the progenitor and the
Yeah. So eating from getting medicine from our own community. And so in our protocol, you should not do high dose mushrooms without a sitter who has done the same dose as you. So his protocol for 5 grams, 7 grams, and 9 grams was what I was trained in. Was I had to have a sitter for 5 grams, one for 7, and one for 9. Then I could sit for somebody for 5 grams. I could sit for somebody for 7 grams. I could sit for somebody for 9 grams. I wanted to get that message out. I just wanted to get that message out. And that's when Kendi has a video on YouTube. Type in Kendi E.E. Dr. Strange. And right at 1 minute and 42 seconds, he says, we need more sorcerers. That was his message. We need more. That could have been the title of this joint. We need more sorcerers. Because
run it back.
They had
because I heard that part. I just listened to that again yesterday. He said we need more sorcerers, more magicians, more I think it's Jedi's. Like he went in and I'm like, I'm here. I said, I'm like, that might be a little tardy to the party, but I'm here now, Doc. Let's get it. Let's get it.
He still has a very strong presence here. And it's not really hard to invoke or ask him to be present, especially with his medicine. A lot of people have taken the Tamarian blues and come back with Kendi was in my journey. And, like some people will say something to try to impress you, like, oh, like I never met Kendi, but I took this medicine and I had this experience, and they just be booked. Nah, nigga, he be coming through. He be coming through for real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, thank you. So yeah, you could put him on your altar. Like that's another thing too. Like Kendi was the first person to tell me, put the mushrooms on your altar before you take them. What? You going in at night around o'clock when it get dark. So you should wake up in the morning, get your mushrooms, go in there to the altar, make all the offerings that you're doing, and then put the mushrooms on the altar and let them stay there all day. Then come back around by 8:30. I see your mind. I can see your thoughts from way over here. Your thoughts is loud. Don't shake your head. That's right. Nah, don't go side to side. Go side to side down. There you go, up and down.
Look, that's deep. That's real deep. Because I'm gonna wait till you finish before I go in with where I'm going. But look, because I got a freedom fighter. Listen, I got a freedom fighter shrine. And I got some heavy hitters on that thing, boy. I got Marcus, I got Malcolm, I got Dr. Blair, and I got Pop. And all of them sitting right in the living room. I light them up every night just like I light up my blood ancestors. So it's like, you done messed around and told me something, boy, look, I'm about to go in with this.
You can split them in half. You can put half on the ancestor offer and half over there with the warrior offers. Then come back and get together. Oh, we built like that. I'm not built like that, man. Because the Tamarian blues, to me, the 3 components are tantric, warrior, and spiritual. So that tantric nature, that sexual energy nature, that freedom, that liberation, that element is present. Then the warrior energy is in there. All the kung fu is in there. All the martial arts. Be wondering why they be moving certain ways, but they never done no art or nothing like that. And then the spiritual side is like the revelations that you get, when you do may meet an ancestor, or you may even go back and solve a traumatic experience from a childhood that needed that type of spiritual medicine. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to experience all 3 that night. You can believe that. So if you want to charge them up with Pac and Dr. Blair and all that, man, come on. Ain't nobody... Trust me, mine strapped too now. I was strapped myself on my altar. We had grandma and them, granddaddy and them, then Tahuti, Herakahuti, Heru, Mayat, Lord Buddha, Ganesha, Jade Emperor, and Source itself, and the Great Mother. All that was represented on the altar. You know what I'm saying? So, and probably some others I'm leaving out. You know, so because even on my shrine, I had one of my Nawapian teachers, Baba Abi Elias. Abi Elias was the brother who brought Malachi York the Circle 7 Quran. And Dr. York made it into the green copy, that leather-bound copy. So that was my number one teacher in Nawapu. And he's everywhere I go. That man was just like, he preceded me meeting Sunyata and the martial arts and learning African Gung Fu, then meeting Baba Kindi, then meeting all the masters that came with the mushrooms, and like everything that's happened since then. So it's just been a journey, and the Mycelium network, me just understanding what Mycelium means and what network means and what underground means. Like I used to think I knew what underground means, but now I have a totally different definition of what underground is.
Yeah, nah, that's deep, bro. We're gonna go in because there's so many different ways that I want to go with this, and so I know this is the goal is to make this a regular thing as best as our schedule will allow, because the tribe is asking questions that I'm going to answer. We definitely, I've already shared the link. Huh?
Let's go. I'm ready for some Q&A. I was ready for Q&A. When you get here, I'm ready.
Look, I'm gonna have to. Look, I normally don't be a ball hog, but this one I'm gonna have to ball hog for a little bit because I can't. But I'm gonna bring the questions up too. But the reason being is because a lot of times I feel like we kind of like in sync, we in unison. So it's like a lot of times I'll get what's on the vibe of the tribes, I say in there, and then sometimes they still come and bring other stuff too. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, because I didn't know you were a student of Dr. York. So with you telling me that gives me a whole nother additional runway to take flight with. So I was just sharing recently the story of Kepra, right? The god of transformation, from the Kemetic tradition. So Kepra is the dung beetle who, the mother burrows her eggs into the ball of dung, right? And then out of that ball of dung, they got to fight for their lives to unburrow. He has to unburrow himself out of that ball of dung to be able to go into the world, to be birthed into the world from a ball of dung, but also being able through that transformational process to be able to take flight. So now we talking on some really, really deep levels of metaphysics and Kemetic culture when we're talking about what we're talking about now. Then you say, what is it, Psilocybin? How you say it, Mycelium network? Psilocybin. Yeah. So now we're talking about the Psilocybin network. Now, transformation. We started out saying how much healing we need, and I just was talking about that recently too, about being
hold on. Before you go too far, pause right there. Watch this right here, because I thought you was gonna go to this, but I'm gonna just hit you with this piece and I'm gonna unpause it. When the dung, when the dung fall away, remember, like when you said like they roll it up, and then when the transformation come, they fight out of the dung, and the dung falls, right? The psilocybin grew out of the dung. Okay, now I'm gonna get back to you. You just figured out how to go back, because that's where they got when he rolled the dung, and then the dung fell to the side, and the mushrooms were there. The information for the transformation was in the dung, and then you take then the mushrooms come out of that, pop it down in your mouth, then you get the download for the architecture to build the pyramids.
Bro, that's the heat. That's deep.
Remember they just told everybody that underneath the pyramids is 685 meters down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's deep, bro.
Network. That's the Mycelium network. That's fungi.
That's deep.
Technology. The oldest technology.
That's deep, because I'm telling you, bro, like for real, that's deep, because the transformation is happening now collectively. You know what I'm saying? We are Kepra. We are the ones who have come forth. You know what I mean? Those guys of transformation. We are the return of the ancestors, the ancients. We are those. You know what I'm saying? We am them. So it's like now that you're exposing these same dormant sleeping gods and goddesses to this mycelium network that really is going to take them right back to the age and the presence of the essence of these pyramid builders. Now, I was just watching the show last night, and there was a bunch of synchronicities and alignment with extraterrestrial activity. And I've seen a lot of them happen in June. If I'm not mistaken, there was a big one in June 6/6/2012, and then there was another one, I think 6/6, I want to say like 6/12/23 or something. But anyway, they seem to like to come in with them sixes. And for those who are on this channel that are in the E5 tradition, when we talk about the Odu Obara Meiji, that's 6 and 6. That is the Odu that speaks about the pyramid builders. So it's like all this is all intertwined. I heard when Dr. Kendi was speaking about the pyramid builders and the ancient Kemites and how they were using the shrooms and how they were able to extract the information and get those downloads in order to be able to bring about the manifestation of, you know, these monumental pyramids. So when it comes to the Psilocybin network, and you're saying it going underground, and a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, have seen or heard about the new revelation, quote unquote, of the depths of the different layers that are up underneath the Sphinx. How would you say that this modern, or I should say this ancient historical healing, powerful healing technology, how does that kind of, when you say the underground, how does that kind of tie into like the Underground Railroad of, you know, the Rosa Parks, not Rosa Parks, what's the sister's name? Harriet Tubman. And yeah, and then when that's going deep into like the inner work, like the shadow work, because you got to go deep down in there now. You got to go through them layers to get to doing all that shadow work. So how do all these kind of tie together? Because to me, as a brand new baby to this, it sounds like there's a whole lot of like alignment and like synchronicity. That's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, divine in regards when we talk about these under worlds. What are we going under when we're going to the Psilocybin network?
The answer too easy now. I'm sure, I don't know if you want me to answer that because it's going to be short. It's going to be right up in your face now because you said you're a baby, but I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Never tried it before in my life, not knowingly. If somebody did, somebody slept something.
You know why you got it? The mushrooms, I do come to California. Sherry, just go to my website and just send me a link and I got you covered. The mushrooms already taught you, because everybody that saw The Matrix Part 1 learned the story of the Mycelium network. Neo was in a dark place, yes or no?
Yep.
But he had to go through an initiation to get to be the one, yes or no?
Yep.
And he had to face some of his demons, yes or no?
Yeah.
And his training was when he got plugged in the back of the neck into the reptilian part of the brain with the right?
Yeah.
Remember when he was like, I want to learn how to fly a helicopter, teach me kung fu.
All they gave him that and downloaded. Yeah.
They was uploading it from the Mycelium network. It was uploading it from the Mycelium network. That's why all you have to do when you pick your mushroom, you picking a download. You about to plug in back here and get it like that right there. Now you're going to be blown away because your conscious mind is trying to tell you there's no way that this is possible. Remember when Neo first met Morpheus and how he just kept trying to tell Morpheus, you don't know what you're talking about? We had to make 3 movies for Neo to realize Morpheus was telling the truth off the rip. Oh, and the first and second season of Star Trek Discovery. So season 1, this is crazy. Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery is all about mushrooms. They even have Paul Stamets in there doing the mushrooms. His name is in there, Lieutenant Stamets, right? And then the second season is about Bufo, because they were moving 10x of the first season. The first season, they was already moving 100x. But then the second season, they was moving 10x of the 100x, because Bufo is the 10x of the mushrooms. So they were just showing you how you could jump from point to point in the Mycelium network. That's what Neo was doing. When he got plugged in, he would be like, he would wake up in another realm. Now we know in Ifa or as the Sangomas or all of our other traditions that we sometimes we let spirits ride us, is the word that some people, the spirit will come in and ride us for a moment. Well, on the outside, it looks like we're being ridden, but on the inside, I'm there. I'm there. I'm not here. That's your fault that you can't see where I'm at. That's not my problem. It's not my problem. And when I finish and the spirit stop riding me, and y'all be like, oh, my God, you were so strong, or you were so gentle, or we've never seen you this soft, or we've never seen you with this much courage. We never heard you speak with so much wisdom. You'd be like, what did I say? What you mean? Or you might even recall it. but don't know where it came from. So that mycelium network, that was Kalindi's thing. Kalindi, the sorcerers he was talking about was 144,000 neos, not 140.
Wait.
What?
We're gonna hit the brakes. We're gonna bring that back because I know some people in the back didn't get that. A lot of people heard the 144,000 before. I've never heard no 144,000 neos. But I know Pop said 50 niggas, and now you said 144,000 neos. Can you run that one more time? One more again for the people in the back.
I said that Kalindi's plan was 100,000 neos connected through the mycelium network. Because when you went to Zion, remember Matrix 2 and 3? That's where they was at. They was on Zion already. They was in a whole nother realm, man. They was in the multiverse looking back. See, the thing is, you're not supposed to destroy the Matrix. You're supposed to master the navigation of the Matrix. Neo could come and go as he pleased. He could come and go as he pleased. Trinity could come and go as she pleased. Everybody, Jada Pinkett Smith, she could come and go as she pleased. You know what I'm saying? It's what is your avatar? Kalindi used Ready Player One. Are you Ready Player One, or are you a non-player character? Are you a Mr. Smith? Are you a glitch, or are you the one? So there's room for many ones. But yeah, Dr. Young said 50 niggas will get it popping, but 140, I know, because who the 50 looking for? The 50 is looking for the 144,000, which is another 9, which is another transformation, which we was already talking about at the very beginning. You can't make this stuff up.
The Divine 9. And what's even more crazy, when you said that, I wish I would have screenshot it. I bullshit you now, excuse my loving French, but it was 44 people on the call at that time when we said that. When we were talking about, I promise you, I wish I had screenshotted it. But yeah, we at 50 now. We done brought Pac into it with 50. But yeah, man, that was dope. That's powerful, man. And so now, man, so to go to the healing, right? Because we definitely all need a lot of healing. That was my primary, goal. Or I should say spark. That's what kind of sparked my interest into it. Is not just to be able to like astral travel and to be able to kind of guide through all these different multiverses. But I really wanted to see, as a healer, as a spiritual leader, as a spiritual healer, I wanted to see how can I incorporate this into my tool belt and where can I put it in and how can I, like maximize the potential as someone who's a healer with this addition, with this, new tool. So it's like, that's why I asked for all the things I did on our initial call, because I like to research, I like to study, I like to learn. And just that little bit of time from the first call we had till now, I've been able to learn, a decent amount in a little bit of time. But one of the things Dr. Kalindi hit a lot in the few videos that I saw was when we get into this multiverse, like you said, you've never felt the level of love. You've never felt the level of connectivity or connection or the level of just the allness of wherever your thoughts or your energy, your ashe, wherever that brings you in that particular moment in the multiverse time until you've tried this. So for healing, for those of us who've been through, and I know you and a lot of your students, a lot of your clients have been through a lot of trauma, where does a brand new novice, a person who's never heard of any of this before, where would be their starting point and what can they expect when they start this journey in regards to healing?
What's your favorite sport? You look like you about 6 feet tall, like you used to play some ball at some point.
Yeah, 6'2". I played basketball, football, and baseball. Basketball is my favorite one, though.
Okay, and what position did you play?
1 and 2, the point and shooting guard.
Okay, so and then if you found yourself down up under the goal, but you had somebody on your team who was 6'10", you would recognize that you're in the wrong area of the court, right? Mm-hmm. You would go back out to the top of the key or do some slashing or something, but that's your realm is around the perimeter, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the first place people should start is awareness of where you are first. Before you put anything in your mouth, be aware of where you are and who you are. And then we apply Sister Myra's rule. That was my first astrology teacher. We peel like layers of the onion. So what you about to do is before you even start, I'm going to tell you it's not going to be fast. You're going to think it's fast, but that's just going to be the first layer of the onion. So you'll be like, yo, we about to have a high-speed basketball game running up. It's about to be running gun. You can get 4 points for a 3-pointer in this game. We're gonna be running. That's cool. But then after that game is over, another game starts, and another game starts, and another game starts. So there's gonna be layers unfolding according to how the mushrooms arrive with you. So best way means push the button. So low doses is cool. Kendi says 5 grams with a sitter. And we used to say back in Clubhouse, 5 grams will get you in the club, 10 grams will get you upstairs. But you need to, but microdosing, see, but this is what I was explaining to somebody the other day. It could have been you. Here's the difference. Microdosing, and this is why they use this in Silicon Valley. We as Black people have been so traumatized, it's mostly mental.
Yeah.
And that means the neurotransmitters of our brain have been messed up. Just use the word messed up. And they told, and somebody lied and said, you can't fix this. But
I've heard
microdosing of magic mushrooms can repair the synapses of neurotransmitters in the mind. During the day, I could be on microdose right now and you would know it. And it could be working on my synapses slowly in the background, which it has been since 2019. I've been microdosing since 2019. That's right.
Wow.
So, and I've been macrodosing, which is more than 5 grams. Some people say more than 3.5, but microdosing is when nobody can tell that you're on mushrooms, and macrodosing is when everybody can tell that you're on mushrooms. So one of Kendi's rules was stay off your phone. Stay off your phone, because you may have a message for somebody while you're in this other multiverse, but the person isn't in there with you, and what you may say could be pretty shocking to them, because your grandma's still a Christian or your uncle is still a such and such, and you should not call them, even though you got some truth and you visited the future and you're back and you're Neo. No telephone. Wait till you come back and ground, get off the plane, get your bags, and then you can get your phone inside your luggage. Then you could call somebody while you are now back grounded, right? Because the thing is, our healing, we got to repair the mental, but we also got to be able to go out. And so microdosing in 1 gram, 1.5 gram, 0.5 gram. In my microdosing, I have 0.3 capsules. So it's 0.3 grams psilocybin, Tamarian blues with a little bit of cordyceps and lion's mane. So I got some medicinal mushrooms as carriers for the psilocybin. So if you look up what is the benefits of lion's mane, benefits of cordyceps, benefits of psilocybin, that's what I have in mind. I call them dragon tears. That's why I'm always have the dragons around, because when you start interacting with dragons at higher doses and you see a dragon cry and you just be like, wait, what just happened that the dragon cried? Now that's something like, right. And so what is I want to capture that. I want to capture that effect of this tear. That's why I said that's the microdose. But the sorcerer's brew is when you go into macrodose, when you start going into the higher realms with a sitter. Everybody please type that in the chat, with a sitter. That's 2 T's, everybody. Don't be microdosing, you could do alone. Maybe like up to 3.5 grams. You could do that, and you could do it inside or out. Microdosing, you could go to the gym, you could have a podcast, you could do whatever like that. But big doses, empty stomach, and you want to be at the crib with the lights out. Kendi always said a lonely, dark Friday or Saturday night. A lonely Friday, Saturday night in a dark room. That's the equipment that you need for your mushroom journey. And of course, some pillows, lots of blankets, you know what I'm saying? A little air mattress on the floor or something. You're gonna end up on the floor at some point in this whole situation. So I started off, I like to start off on the floor because I'm gonna end up on the floor anyway. So there's really no, I like the bed and stuff like that, but you just be moving around and things like that. And then when you come back, it's the integration, that's the piece. Are you integrating from the microdosing, or are you integrating from the high dosing? They all need integration. Dr. Maxwell Nardi from Psychometry said, from paradigm to paradigm transition. So let's say you've been married for 20 years, you just got divorced, you had 4 kids with her or him. You need to integrate into the next paradigm of being single, because you spent so much of your life with this other person. So we're carrying so much trauma that now the mushrooms, I had a woman realize who killed her cousin when he was 4. She was 6. She saw her cousin be killed at 4, and she had suppressed it, but it was blocking her development. So boom, when she saw that, because the mushrooms decided to bring up what part of the healing is necessary for right now, because you're not going to get it on the first ride or the second ride or the third ride or the 4th ride or the 5th ride. There's no magic dose. How much should I start on? Kendi said, go to the higher doses. Kendi said, work your way to the higher doses. He said, work your way to the higher doses. Just like the 36 chambers in Shaolin Kung Fu. You can't just go up to the 35th chamber and be like, I want to seek revenge. No, you got to go through the chambers. That's what an initiation is. Master Masons, Rosicrucians, Ifa, there's Sangomas. There's 7 levels in the Sangoma initiation. You think I'm just going to jump up there? I'm going to pull up in South Africa and be like, I want a 7th level initiation as a Sangoma. And you just got here. Go somewhere and sit down. Go somewhere and sit down. You got to be around for at least 5 years before you get to level 3, son. What you talking? Credo Mutwa was a 7th level. So what you mean? What you talking about? What? You know you ain't gonna say
it. Whole doggone Zulu, high priest, shaman, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what all titles I don't even know how many different titles and references and all that Baba Matwa got, man. Like, he wasn't no joke, bro. I didn't even know he was in this, but I'm not surprised, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a master healer. So
Kendi was about to take us to go see him. Kendi was going to take us to go see him, because when Kendi said the last time that he saw him, he had to, there was a child had just got born in the house. So since Kendi was in blood, he couldn't come in the house. So he had the conversation with Credo Mutwa through the window. So he had to, anybody wanted to see Credo had to stand outside and lean on the window and talk to him through the window. That's where I wanted to be right there. If I could teleport anywhere in the world, I want to go back in the past and see what y'all was talking about, leaning at the window in South Africa with Credo on the inside and Kendi with his big 6'4", 260 out there with the broad tight end shoulder pads on, and they just leaning in the window talking to Credo. What? Oh man, I want to hear that.
I was looking for my book because I got a couple of, I can't remember which one I got a couple of his books. Pretty much why I couldn't find it, but man, just the cover of his book alone, if you look at that chain, like, do you know the significance of the chain he rocks and where some of them items came from, or what they got in them?
From extraterrestrials. What are you talking about?
Oh man, I wish I had the book.
I got Holmes upstairs, Holmes. I'm a level 2, so he's a level 7. So that means he got everything I got plus 70 years. So yeah, I can just, can I imagine? What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, it's dope because the alignment, man. Shout out to all the masters and the elders, everybody who's been coming through showing love, man, because this has just been a phenomenal alignment, you know, with the ancestors doing what they're doing from the spiritual realm. And shout out to Baba Kindi and Baba Kwedu Matwa and the Honorable El Haj, who we about to celebrate in 2-3 days. Like, they doing their work over there, man, because I see it. You know, I see it manifesting. I see it coming through fruition. I see the divine alignments, you know what I mean? And it's beautiful, you know, and I love it. So it's like now, I feel like I could hear the Heavy D song, now that we found love, what are we gonna do? Like, what we're gonna do? So we found it.
But it says within.
Yeah.
Now that we found
yeah,
love,
yeah.
what are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
Within. So
Yes,
the
sir.
only thing to do, Noble Drew Ali, Timothy Drew from Clinton, North Carolina, said, once you have studied yourself, you will be wise to go back and study yourself again.
Listen, I don't know if he's still on here, but I just had that conversation yesterday with one of my brothers, man. I was talking to one of my brothers that's in the tribe yesterday, I believe. I was on a road trip, headed out to a little short road trip to another part of town, and we was chopping it up, and we were speaking about the journey, the spiritual journey. I think we were talking about initiations, and I'm like, man, listen, the initiation is literally just the beginning. That's exactly what it says. It's to initiate. That's the start. You know what I mean? And shout out to Baba Tolu. The Balagoon says, when you get initiated, you ain't getting no damn degree. When you go to college and you step foot on campus the first year as a freshman, you ain't getting no damn degree. You got to go through them 4 years before you even can get the bachelor's degree. So that's what an initiation is, no matter what.
It's a good chance you might get hazed as a freshman. You definitely
Right.
And don't open your mouth about trying to command no respect. You better go over there and bring me something to eat. Or let me get that off your plate. Let me get that off your plate.
Yeah, find an elder that you can sit at the feet at and do something for, because you ain't. But I say all that to say that even me, who, you know, I've been through a couple ceremonies, and that I'm proud of it, but that's definitely not what I'm throwing out, because there's a lot more work, and even after you go through those, every single day is an initiation. I got to initiate myself to get up every day and make sure I do something to get something done. You know what I'm saying? That's positive. That's going to take care of my family. That's going to pour into the community. That's going to help empower the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of different things. What they say, to whom much is given, much is expected. So therefore, I'm never going to not be working on that initiation, because I got to initiate trying to make it to the next day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to make sure that we look at the steps ahead and not worry about getting to the top of the mountain in that one leap, but being willing to put in the work to take those steps to get there, because we will get there, but it's a matter of the process. But this right here, to me, sounds like a cheat code, man. It sounds like
that's what we doing. This is the Kobe Bryant cheat code. Listen, so I use the word cheat different. Kobe Bryant will go down to Sacramento. He'll put up 41 points. They'll win by 30. But he missed 2 3-pointers from the corner. They just beat y'all by 40. The whole Los Angeles Lakers went back home, and the guy who was checking Kobe, who got toasted for 40 or 60 that night, he done come out the locker room, going home in his street clothes, and Kobe still out there practicing from that same corner, talking about, I ain't leaving till I hit 100 straight. And the dude say, Kobe, you cheating. You already one of the greatest. You're cheating. And Kobe said, that's a you problem. That's a you problem, that you consider what I'm doing is cheating. I'm just being great. So I tell everybody, cheat some more. Get you some Tamarians, get you some microdose, get you a sitter. I'm teaching facilitators right now. Let me just make my announcement right fast, because I'm gonna give you another 30 minutes too, so don't rush. I'm looking for facilitators to train in sitting for mushrooms and sitting for a bufo. I cannot do all this myself. I know you didn't know I was going to hijack your show, but I cannot do all the things as one person. I want to initiate others like I was initiated, so then you can get up and walk and spread this like spores, because that's how mushrooms move. Mushrooms got one strategy, GROW. They come out the ground, they open, they release spores, and the wind blows the spores 3 feet. 3 feet. And they move 3 feet at a time. And so in Oregon, they have over 2,600, I think maybe 2,600 or 26,000 acres. That's all mycelium that spread by moving 3 feet at a time. By moving 3 feet at a time. And then starting over. Move 3 feet, replenish yourself. Move 3 feet, replenish yourself. Move 3 feet, replenish yourself. So in the Navy, some of y'all have been in the military. In the Navy, the rule is teach 2 beneath you. Teach 2 levels. So if you are a sergeant, you're supposed to teach the corporal and the private what to do. If you're the corporal, you're supposed to teach the private what to do. Private, you're supposed to learn 2 rows in front of you. You're supposed to learn what, because of the corporal. If you watch Spook That Sat by the Door by Sam Greenlee with Freeman in there, what he say? Always train somebody to replace you. So when you get moved up, somebody can take your spot, or if you get killed, somebody can take your spot. So that's something that's for real. I studied the art of war since 1988, 1989. So I don't really play with that. So when I seen Kendi, those were all our discussions were art of war discussions around cryptocurrency, blockchain, branding. We rarely talked about mushrooms because it was already happening. I had something that he needed. He had something I needed. You see what I'm saying? So now this collaboration, this networking started to form. And so in the healing, the first thing we have to heal is the ability to work together. That's our realest biggest thing that's jacked up. We don't know how to work together. That we got to heal that first, so I can now get more people to come and help me heal, and people accept me to heal. But people who can't work together can't heal together. Healing is work. Doing dark shadow work is work. You will fail as an individual. I am in the love of all, and all others in me. I'm a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all, as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I am. All can, I can. All does, I do. Istinje, Ilaku. That's El Kaloum. That's El Kaloum. We ain't know Dr. York was teaching us about mushrooms. You already have the structure. That's why I said I don't agree with you when you say, oh, I'm just a baby in this. I just ain't nobody taught you the keys yet. Oh, my fault. Ain't nobody put no gas in your tank. You got a whole Bugatti over there, and you just need some rocket fuel. Because you can't put unleaded. You can't put unleaded in a Bugatti.
Yeah.
You can't put that's 87. This is a $1 million car.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to what's the most expensive gas? That's what you're gonna have to put in there.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's what they call it too.
Then you're gonna what? Then you're gonna get the high level healing that you need. Here's the other thing. The finances need to be healed in our community. Finances need to be healed in our communities. So we have some blockages around finances, right? Around receiving and all this other type of stuff. When the mushrooms can go to that place where you have a trauma around money and heal that, now we start circulating more money in our community. Noble Drew Ali said it takes finance to raise a nation.
Yes, sir.
And the Beetles were going to Mexico, taking mushrooms, and songs were being revealed to them in the multiverse, and they were bringing it back. So 50 Cent said it ain't about what you cop, is what you keep. They brought these songs back and went what? Not aluminum, not silver, not gold. They went platinum. So these songs, these works of art, Mozart was bringing back music from that realm on much. How many of y'all took Reiki? I want everybody to put a 1 in the chat if you've ever heard of the word Reiki. Came from mushrooms. Came from mushrooms. He was in the cave, remember? It said he was in the cave talking to himself. He was in the dark place taking mushrooms, and he came out the cave and was like, hey, I got this thing for you. Ninjutsu, the dark art. What's dark? Underground. Underground is very dark. When we go to the cemetery, if we're going to do some work in the cemetery, and let me give me some grave dirt. What's that? I'm working in the dark. That's where it's all at. That's where it's all at. So the healing is multidimensional, multifaceted, and is layered. So that's why it's important that when you're talking to someone and you want to get on the journey, like you cheating right now. You really, you the biggest cheater out here on the set. I mean, everybody else, like y'all are witnessing. That's him with the hands up. Because he's like,
look, it ain't been a week. What day did lawyer he introduced us? This past Sunday, I think. It ain't been a week. It ain't been a week since we got introduced. I don't play, bro. Like, listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my friend, high level cheater, right here. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Take a bow. Take a bow. That joker is. Listen, I'm gonna get all the information right now. Y'all can come listen while I get it for me, and y'all better get it too. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I share this like this, is because Kendi didn't hold back when he was sharing with me. You see what I'm saying? And he knew I was a teacher. He knew I was a gatherer. You know, like he knew I could organize. And so he knew I got a big mouth. and I also make things contagious. So I want to make this contagious because I don't want to wake up and have some vanilla skinned person standing over me as the first thing I see when I come back in from where I've been. I want to see some family members so I can settle my nervous system. You see what I'm saying? Because the nervous system is the thing that's up under attack. That's why when you get into taking mushrooms and you start yawning a lot, you're releasing. You don't have to have Cambo and vomit everywhere and purge and all the damn time. You can yawn because guess what? Niggas is uptight. Am I allowed to say niggas on here? Niggas is uptight. But if you niggas will drop your shoulders, then you'll tap into serotonin instead of adrenaline, and then you'll be in an orgasmic tantric state, and then things can be revealed to you because you ain't holding on to everything with a death grip. It ain't no problems out here. People just holding on to problem like it's a death grip. Mushrooms be like, hey man, open that thing up. That's right. And then Bufo be like, I said open your hand. Okay, no problem. I just go on and open it up. Yes. Because that's what we supposed to be doing anyway, is giving it to God. I'm supposed to ask and it's supposed to be given. I ain't supposed to be. It don't matter who it is. I want everybody to get on it.
Yeah.
Ochochi, get to work. Heracahudi, get to work. Archangel Michael, get to work. Come on, let's get it popping.
Oh yeah, Melchizedek, Jago, Shango, today shout out to Kabiesi, Obakoso Shango, and him and day to day, they, we need that, you know what I'm saying? Listen, but when I tell you like the divinities and the synchronicities are unparalleled, like it's unbelievable. And you can't say that because my interpretation of the word nigga is Pac's interpretation of definition, which is never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. So that's so we got this goal accomplished even against, all kinds of barriers and blockages that tried to shut it down, but that ain't how I roll, man. I'm gonna bust through that wall. If I don't bust through it, I'm gonna shoot it down because we're gonna make it do what it do, you know what I'm saying?
And the song that Tupac when Tupac said the rose that grew through concrete, that's mycelium. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? We've been listening to it the whole time. Everybody, please go get that book. If you are a Pan-African or study Black righteousness or melanin, go get this book by these two white people called Psychedelic Gospels. Psychedelic Gospels. Go on and get that. And it will ignite everything in the back of your head. You'll be like, wait, I seen this. Wait, I seen this. Wait, I seen this. What? No, I seen this. Man, Doc had this on the land down there in Tamarian was in Edenton. Wait, man, I seen this at such and such. Wait, man, you mean it's been in I call it Operation Mustache. It's been up on our nose the whole time.
Shout out to Alien Black Girl. She said dark, coverted, and sacred. I know that's right. That's big facts. Big
it ain't
facts.
No secret no more. It's just sacred. And then the other thing is, let me just go on and speed you up. Everybody go look up decriminalized nature. Decriminalized nature. Decrim nature or decriminalized nature. So we saw what happened with cannabis. Black people is like, oh, we're being displaced. We're not going to make none of the money that everybody else is making on cannabis. The mushrooms is about to come and make more money than cannabis. So Baba Kindi told us to make sure we had our place. We made our place at the table. He said, make sure we make our place at the table. So the more Black people that can learn to grow mushrooms, it's an entrepreneurial movement, to really tell you the truth, because entrepreneurs are creative. Where was I being creative from? From taking something that I grew myself that made me healthier mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. The big five, I call it. So decriminalized nature is, okay, bam. Prior to 1970, mushrooms were not illegal. Then in the 70s, when we started going to war, a bunch of these white boys was taking mushrooms, and it was removing the desire to do harm to themselves or others. Remember the flower children, Woodstock? They was putting flowers in rifles, like, I ain't going over there. And so then the government all of a sudden, out the blue, made them illegal. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I literally just saw this like 2 days ago. But did you know that's one of the main reasons why they assassinated Kennedy? His mistress was on shrooms, introduced him to shrooms. He got on shrooms and he wouldn't go with the program to continue with the war because he's like, nah, he was on that love flower child power. And so it was like, that's why they assassinated. I just learned this like a couple days ago. Bro, that's deep. That's real deep. And that answers somebody's question and somebody in the tribe, I missed it because there's a lot of comments coming in now, but somebody asked, I think it was like something along the lines of why they made it illegal. But brothers answered the question because people were learning to love and not, continuing to follow the cheap.
Oh, be specific. White people. No. It wasn't because of us. It wasn't because of no black people being nonviolent. It was when white people started being nonviolent. They was like, oh, hell to the no. We must have the strongest. Because see, this is what white people do. They do statistics. Just like Chinese. They start projecting. They say, oh, we're having a decline in enrollment in our armed forces. So in 20 years, we won't be number 1. We'll be number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had already been just attacked by the Japanese 20 years earlier. So the white man was not going for that. The white man was looking for what? Super soldiers. Every movie that the white man put out was about some damn super soldier. The Terminator, Jason Bourne, whatever. It's all about just type in super soldier movie. No, just type in super soldier movie and watch the list go on and on and on. So they've been making super soldiers. Now they want to come up with LSD, things made in the laboratory to reproduce these superhuman things, because the confidence level on mushrooms, like Kendi said, the Africans used to take mushrooms to go walk up on the hyena and take the meat from them. I can't catch that. But now you caught it. Now I'm gonna walk up on you and I'm gonna take it. Period. Or I'm gonna let the lion hunt. You found it. I'm gonna walk up on you and take it. And then my eyes is so good. Your boys is coming 2 miles out. I saw them. I'm out. My senses were heightened. I seen them over there 2 miles. I ain't scared of this. You little 3, but them other 20 that's coming, they smell the meat. So I smelled it too, but I got here first. I'm faster, stronger, lighter, more aggressive. I brought the meat back to the tribe. Then my high came down. I returned back to my normal grounded state, but I'm over here safe because my normal grounded state, I'm not walking up on no group of hyenas taking nothing. That's y'all. We're gonna have to figure it out. Hey man, circle around to the back and here go your darts and here go your arrows. No, they wasn't doing that. They was walking up on there talking about this mean. Watch out. Watch out. That's the type of courage we don't have over here right currently. Not collectively. Some of us do, but collectively, hey, I want you to take this mushroom and you're gonna eat it. And then about 45 minutes later, you're gonna go over there and grab the. I'm gonna do what? Man, what you talking about? We're going, let me get something from Uber Eats. So can we order DoorDash?
Yeah. Well, but and that's the thing. So that's why you have the like shepherd and sheep. I guess outline, like what I mean, because everybody's not set up to be the leader of the pack or the guard, the guardian. But at the same time, everybody has the potential to be. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it sounds like to me that this technology gives everybody kind of like the access code. You know what I'm saying? In order to tap in to becoming that super, super Neo, that super soldier, that super Rambo, that super, T'Challa, you know what I mean? Because you tap into.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this right here. Or you could be the German Shepherd hiding in sheep's clothing. See, that German Shepherd is what they use in the army. Look, he's spinning right now. He already caught. For some of y'all, it might have went over your head. Let me break it down one more time. You might be a German Shepherd pretending you a sheep. You might be a German Shepherd pretending you a sheep. You supposed to be out here helping us. You supposed to be out here helping the other sheep don't get ate up by the wolf. And you out here pretending that you a sheep too. Man, get these mushrooms in and get some confidence in your ass and realize that it wasn't that big a deal. Forgive yourself, because that's the second part. Awareness and then forgiving yourself. Most of our trauma is because we hold on to trauma like it's a badge. I was suppressed. I'm with Kanye West on the slavery piece. Slavery was a choice. Get out of my face. It's over, but you still want to let it live rent-free in your mind? Mushrooms will get that mess out of here. I don't got time for playing no victim out here. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. This melanin is running through here. These mushrooms say so. I can tap into all of the Akashic records and stop playing with me. Or I need to start playing with myself, pretending I'm a bear. Bear. That I'm supposed to just bare my teeth like a German Shepherd. And you supposed to back off because you know there's a threat behind that. That's why I like my man Jordan Peterson. We don't need no more nice men. We need good men, but we need very violent men who are good men. We don't need no more nice, sheepish men. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A good man is a very violent man who knows how to keep himself under control. Period.
Man, listen, that's crazy. I just said that on a personal call yesterday, literally, and then I said it on a live stream call on air, I think Wednesday. Well, because I verbatim, I just said that. The difference between a nice guy and a good guy. The nice guy is going to let everything slide. The good guy is going to bust your face in, but continue to do good work. You know what I'm saying? To do what he got to do to handle his business without disturbing or disrupting nobody else. But if you come across that line and they break your mind on your spine, that's on you, because he was minding his business and you came over there and came and asked for that. And then he gave it to you. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm a good guy. I ain't never going to say I'm a nice guy, but I'm a good guy. I'm going to do some good work. As long as I got a breath in my lung, boy, I'm going to do some good work and do the best I can to be a good guy. But just don't come crossing no lines.
An old martial arts teacher told me that good men stand up when evil is present. I can stay sitting down minding my business, drinking on a pina colada, smoking on a little cannabis, healing myself, doing little mushrooms. I can lay down when there's no evil, but when evil come through, I must stand up. Then I stand on it. And in ancient Kemet, that's what the left foot came with first. The left foot steps on evil, so then you can bring the right foot. We were given our trauma through oppression, suppression, and erasure in order to get us off our track of who we truly are. Those mushrooms really enlighten you to who you are and what is important. Now, here's the thing. Let's say we were given the traumas. We really were given the trauma formulas. We took trauma formulas and started experimenting with it like we do, and then we mastered the traumas, and now nobody's giving us a trauma release formula, but it's here now in the combination between mushrooms and AI, because Kendi talked about how Bitcoin was the transdimensional currency. And if anybody knows, y'all watch, he about to spin the table, he about to spin his chair, watch this. What's the first and last letters of Anunnaki?
Well, listen. Hey, around here in these Ashe streets, we don't do no artificial intelligence in my ass. We call it ancestral intelligence. So yeah. So when you talk, then yeah, that's about right. You know what I'm saying?
Ancestral, look, advanced ancestral assisted intelligence.
One more.
That's my AAA. That's my. If I break down, I'm getting on that AAA.
One or two more times, because I know some people in the back that didn't get all that. So I'm gonna get out you.
Ancestral, advanced, assisted intelligence. It's very advanced. Ain't nothing artificial about it. Ancestral. Somebody asked me today in my huddle this morning, was like, how does it know all these things? It's the Anunnaki. Melchizedek got 76 trillion years of knowledge.
Say it again.
Melchizedek.
Say it again.
Melchizedek.
Just talk about him too. Look, I went as far as talking about the comment that he came on and everything. Boy, look, I got receipts, man. Don't play with me.
Melchizedek got 76 trillion years, and it's something older than him. So what you even talking about? These my resources. At least tap into at least 10 million years ago. Come on, at least get you just a little something out the shallow end. We got to quit looking at what happened 400 years ago. Stop talking about that. Listen, there is no story of Melchizedek being no slave. I'm going to repeat that for those in the back. Melchizedek don't got no history of slavery. Let me say this again. Ogun ain't got no history of slavery. He don't got no memory of slavery. Obatala ain't got no memory of slavery. Nlozi ain't got no memory of slavery. The ancestors I'm dealing with, these old heads, Kendi said we come before time We come from magic. We come from magic. That's a quote. So you gonna sit here and tell me I'm gonna keep saying somebody put something on me? That was in a recent history. Like right now it was 5:20. Okay, this morning something happened, but that shit is over. That's over since from the 400 years ago. That was a part of our karma too, because black people was selling slaves and doing black magic work in Africa before we even came to the Caribbean. We was already harming one another. We have a long history of black on black crime before Europeans even got here. That's what I said, Europe. Before they was even let out of that little range that they was in, we was already doing and that creates karma. Karma is not color struck. Karma ain't color struck. Don't kill him. Oh, you did something? I'll catch you later. When you gonna catch me later? He put it in the Bible. He says sins of the father. Huh? Yeah.
Flies in the face of the sun.
What you want me to do? And because about to lie and about fairness, favor ain't fair. He coming through with the justice. So now we cleaning the books up. Our books are clean now. That's why the mushrooms. Okay, now it's my time. There was mushrooms growing during slavery. I bet you Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, them niggas was running up on some mushrooms. Elijah Muhammad, he was taking some mushrooms. Malachi York, I know you was taking some mushrooms. You ain't gonna tell me. So
listen.
Direction and redirection, however it looks to him, but with authority. Talk about it, sis. That's what I'm talking about. Alien black girl. Ali,
and I had to bring this one up so we can talk about this, because I know you're gonna comment and take us a little deeper, because I believe shout out to Jessica J. I appreciate you. That's a dope comment, and I really do believe she's on to something with that. How do you feel about that in regards to what she's saying about cleansing first? Like for example, I'm on a fruit fast now. I'm working on fasting and just fruits. You know what I'm saying? Like just kind of cleaning myself out, give a nice little cleanse.
No problem. Ready
for my journey. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna help you with this right here. I'm gonna give you, because I always talk relationships. So I'm gonna ask you this question, but it's structural, not personal. So don't answer for yourself. I just want you just to give me a general answer, okay?
Yep.
Are you familiar with polygamy and polyamory and poly stuff? Right? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm in one right now. Look. Wait. Let me clarify that first, because look, I don't know if she's watching or not, but anyway, but I told her when we got together, I am married to my peace, and if you want to join us in this marriage, let's get this threesome going. But the peace, she ain't going nowhere. So long as, you know what I'm saying, everybody's on the court and y'all can get together, we can get together. Let's get together and make it do what it do. But she ain't going nowhere.
And you also know what the word monogamous means, right?
Yeah.
Mushrooms are monogamous in the stomach. Mushrooms do not want nobody else in the belly when they come in there. Your abdominal brain has more nerve endings than your brain. That's inside the water, inside of your head. So the mushrooms don't go up, they go down into your abdominal brain, which is why you should fast a minimum of 6 hours before. Minimum of 6 to 7 hours of an empty stomach. Because when y'all go watch these videos and hear white people talking about how they purge and threw up on the mushrooms, and everybody ask them, did they have food on their stomach? So Jessica J makes an amazing point. She's spot on. You need to have an empty stomach. Now, how long you fast is going to create the deeper experience. So a 6 hour fast, that's going to be deep. A 1 day fast, that's going to be real deep. A 3 day fast, that's going to be crazy deep. Because the more you have that monogamous relationship between mushrooms and your stomach, the more mushrooms can analyze what's going on with your vehicle. When you take mushrooms, it's just like you took your car to the Mercedes shop and they hooked it up to the machine and said, hey, brother, you just wait in here and we're going to do a computer analysis real quick. Then we're going to come out and tell you what our findings are, and then we're going to get to work. So with mushrooms, they go into your stomach where all your trauma is at. The trauma's down there. What's around the stomach for women? Their ovaries, and they got the cyst, and men got stuff in their pancreas and the liver, all that in that mid area up under the rib cage. That's where your abdominal brain is at. So the mushrooms is going down there saying, oh, here's an injury. Oh, damn, it's 632.5684 traumas down here. How much mushrooms did you take? Oh, you only took 6 grams? Okay, we can knock out this, this, and this because that's the only budget that you brought in here. Ready, break. And then they go work on those 6 traumas, but they're going to work on them 6 traumas and try to make it where other traumas collapse on top of those. Then guess what? You got to wait 28 days or more. You bring your car back to the shop again. This time you drop 8 grams of mushrooms. They go in there and say, oh, this is good. And this fell apart too. But now he's only got 419 more traumas. Tonight he brought 8 grams. We're going to work on 19 things. We're going to work on these 19 things. Now the next morning you just like, wow, my mind is blown. I've gone through so much healing in 90 days. Then you wait another 28 days, or another 60 days, and you go in at a higher dosage. Now you at 10 grams. You're going back to the abdominal brain, and they're like, oh, you ain't got but like 200 traumas now because you were what? Doing the work. People say, what does tapping mean? Jermaine Dupree asked me one time down in Atlanta. He was like, what does tapping in mean? Tapping in means tapping into the trauma so you can do the work when you get back. When you take mushrooms, that's a ceremony. When you get back and you not high no more and you sober, that's when the trip begins. The trip begins the next morning when the sun come up. The ceremony was happening that night. That's why Kendi said, I've been on that same trip. When he came off the mushrooms that morning in 1973, he began the journey of doing the work, because you are going to get a message on high dose mushrooms of carrying something out. I want to say this too for you folks. This is directly from Kendi. Y'all don't want to take no mushrooms, but you'll take anything coming across the pharmaceutical thing that's got all the warnings of your hair falling out, suicidal thoughts, testicular cancer, and breast cancer, and your nipples falling off, and all this other type of stuff. You'll take that coming across and you even sign for it and let a doctor tell you this is what you need for your blood pressure, for this, for that, for all this other type of stuff. But something that came before there was even a calculator, before there was a clock, before there was astrology, you ain't gonna put that in your mouth. And that's why he said you ain't doing what your ancestors is doing, because you ain't doing what your ancestors was doing. Take that. Take that. You talking about, my ancestors this, my ancestors this. Well, you might be an embarrassment to your ancestors because you ain't doing what your ancestors was doing. Why don't you do what your ancestors was doing? Just stick with the script. Oh, you ain't got no altar in your house. Okay, guess your ancestors had an altar. Okay, your ancestors ate watermelon. It cleaned the pork out. You don't eat pork. You ain't eat no watermelon. Some of these things is basic math. The math be mathing and people be talking about So thank you, Jessica J. Take your mushrooms on an empty stomach. Microdose, first thing in the morning with a glass of water on an empty stomach. Anything over 3.5 grams at nighttime on an empty stomach with water. If you take it with lemons or pineapple juice, it's going to speed it up. You don't need that, and it might catch you off guard mixing it with like something that's got acid in it, because the acid is going to rush into the walls of the lining of the stomach. So I don't know if I'm giving y'all too much game right now, but this is just.
Listen. We look the tribe. Look, the tribe be tribing, bro. They be in there sometimes going just as hard as we are. Like I'm serious too in the comments as we is on the stage, bro. Like they look. Everybody here for a reason now, and our motto. And I'm working on the t-shirts right now. But the tribe is the motto is we here now. Like we here now. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. So they going in, man. Like it's funny because I can't keep up.
Yeah, but that's the part about having an empty stomach. Just remember, the M in mushrooms is for monogamy. Don't put nothing else in your stomach. He trying to work. So ain't no use of you. That's why you got to have discipline. Back to the word transformation. There will be no transformation without discipline. I'm gonna say it one more time. And the brother can just tell me to shut the hell up. I'm lying. As soon as I start lying, there will be no transformation without some form of discipline. Why do people quit their initiations? Because they lack discipline. I ain't say that, did I? I'm sorry.
Yes, you did.
I get canceled for saying that.
Hey, they can cancel you wherever, but damn it, you're welcome in the Ashe streets, because we keep it raw and real over here. So if you're gonna be on the fluff stuff, we don't do that. But if you're gonna keep it a buck, come on through, because we all about that life.
I'm standing toes on that. Oh, I ain't having no transformation. I got one question. How's your discipline? I don't really feel like, like I can't never, like it takes so long. Oh, okay. Look, this ain't for you. Microdose. Get you some microdose. That's all. Get you some microdose, and check back in with us next year. We'll be here. Now we're gonna be way not where we at right now, but we'll be available. We just won't be right here where you're at. Because what's gonna separate us is discipline. Your lack of, my application of. My application of is gonna move me over there. Your lack of is gonna keep you nice and comfortable with your legs crossed, chilling. And you're gonna be seeing, as we say in the country, you're gonna watch my head get small. Because I'm gonna be walking away from you. I might be jogging away from you if you ain't got no discipline.
Because that separation factor gonna get a lot wider and wider and farther and farther and farther. It's like when you see somebody walking out into the ocean, they're gonna keep going and going and going and going, so eventually you ain't gonna be able to see them. But they still there. It's all about where your vision appears.
and now I'm glad you used that example, because when you use nothing can be accomplished in shallow waters. Let me say this one more time. Nothing. All of you know about the ancient ships that went through the sky. Nut. So if that's a ship, a ship operates best in deep waters. What did they build lighthouses for? To warn you of being too close to the shore where the rocks are. We as melanated people sitting around here tripping because we want to get our salvation, transformation, money, healing in shallow waters. Well, that rocks is going to cut up your boat. A lot of the things you're doing is because your navigation issue is on you. You the captain of the ship. Ain't nobody tell you I'm just going to stay close to where the light is. I'm going to just stay close because I see the light. I'm going to stay close. Hey, nigga, the light is showing you where the rocks is at. You about to hit the rocks. Go away from the light, my guy. Go away from the light, man. No. Go disappear.
Listen,
go disappear.
Look, my mind be all over the place, boy. I'm telling you, I don't know how many doggone voices in my head, boy. But let me tell you something. All I can hear when you saying that, and I'm reading them comments about Go Deep, I just see Top Gun when they flying and they doing the training. He flying upside down, highway to the danger zone. We're bringing y'all to the danger zone today, boy. Let's get it.
Locks back, you know what I'm saying? Pull them back, you know what I'm saying? G-forces. You gonna have
look,
let me say,
look, I tucked mine in. I done started my little journey, but I had to tuck them in because I knew this was gonna be a wild and crazy ride. But
because you're gonna have to do what? You're gonna have to, your trauma, Black people. This really ain't my fault. So anybody taking offense, the brother invited me over here. So don't take offense. Y'all have to put it on him. I just got here. But I'm gonna deliver what was being told to me. And
I'm about to slide on off on you.
Our traumas are so deep, in order to break them, we're going to have to break the sound barrier in some cases. Some of you listening to this live and on the replay right now, your trauma so crazy that you ain't even recognize some of it, that you ain't going to be able to just wade out there and get away from it. You're going to need to be catapulted. You're going to need to be launched from a launch pad with extra help in order to break what? In order to break the gravitational pull of Earth. You're not an earthling. Excuse me. Hello. Hi. You over there. You are not an earthling. So why are you so, hey, you over there, you're not even an African. You're using African sciences to get out of here. Don't stop using African sciences to act like you want to run the earth. This is temporary. This is just a place filled with gold and jewels. Go look at the story of Enki and Enlil. This is not a paradise, okay? There's heavens we can go into that ain't got nothing to do with Christianity. That's what your Merkaba is about, that you can go and travel and be star seed. Talk to him, Impy. You can be a star seed. But no, you want to sit around here and talk about, I want to be, and I'm proud of Africa too. But come on, man, it's not the end all be all. Like Kendi said, where were you before you got to Pangea? Because before it was Africa, it was Pangea. And before it was Pangea, where were you? You wasn't here. And that's why the sham. That's why they had to get rid of Dr. York. He was talking about how we got teleported down here from the outside of Pluto, right on the edge of the Milky Way. Come on, man. Come on. Please tap your heads and your foreheads and stuff. And just, you ain't from here. And that's the thing. The more you can surrender to self, the more you will be able to surrender to your healing when you do go into these journeys.
Yeah. No, that's real, man. Listen, and I'm gonna ask this one now because I know it's gonna come up too, but that's so real, man. And first of all, I gotta give thanks because this was dope. I knew it was gonna be dope as soon as Lawyer, introduced us. He told me about you and he said I'm gonna make the connection. I already knew it was gonna be dope. And so with that, and I'm gonna bring a couple of these comments up. We got some dope ones, but with that, I got a lot of comments. The tribe wants to know, when can we learn more? When can we do the courses, or when are you going to be doing the training of the teachers? Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm interested because, like I said, it's something that I know I'm going to definitely incorporate into my toolbox, and I want to share that with the tribe as well. So if we could set something up, we could do it off air or whatever, but to bring you back in the community, the private community, so we can really go in and tap in on another level, man. Because this is definitely something I knew was going to be an instant hit, and sure enough, that's exactly what it is. So with that, where can, for those who want to maybe take the courses or that want to become a trainer, or for you to train them, a mentee of yours, how can they connect with you, or do you have courses set up? Like how can those who are asking that question in the comments get that accomplished with you?
Oh man, you just keep channeling Kendi. You're trying to ask me a question, but then you're gonna channel Kendi. I really wanted to answer the question, but then you channel Kendi. So which one you want first? You want the Kendi message, or you answer the question? I do both.
Let's go with him first. Look, when the ancestors they speak, I got to listen. So look, I don't want no problems with him. So let's get him straight first, and then we go back.
One day I did a video. One day I did a video on Facebook called "Do You Have a Coach or a Mentor?" And I thought I was killing it because I used to be Coach Kair, and I was talking about, you need a coach, you need a mentor, I went ham. Maybe about 6:30, 7 o'clock that evening. Later on in the evening, my girlfriend came over. She stayed the night. We had fun. I was ready to do something in the morning, and my Facebook Messenger rang. Now, you don't want nobody calling you on Facebook Messenger. You don't know me like that. So I can hear the difference of the tone. I'm reaching for my phone, and I look, and it's Baba Kindi, and it's not even 8 o'clock. It's like before 7:30. I'm like, he got my number, but why is he calling me on Facebook Messenger? I answer the phone and say, "Peace, Baba." His reply is not "Peace, Oyi," not "Peace, Coach." His first words is, "Do you know what a mentor is?" I ain't know class was gonna be while I'm butt naked laying up on my girl before 7:30, but no, sir. I ease up out the bed. You know what I'm saying? Throw him a little jacket, go out in the front, because I already feel the belt swinging through toward the ass. And he was like, mentor was a pedophile in Greece that had sexual advantages with the boys because they taught homosexuality to their government. So the generals went to war and they left the children with mentee. He was a pedophile. He said, "We from Africa. We are Jegna, Jegna." And what Kendi was doing was checking me. So make sure he had to put hands on me if I ever referred to him as a mentor, because I could feel that he was what he was saying, that if we were somewhere in public and I was like, "This is my mentor," that it was going to be some correction coming that I did not particularly want. I don't really like that type of correction. I don't mind correction, but I ain't want that. And I was like, "How do you spell Jegna?" He was like, Jegna. So people type in Jegna versus mentor. Just go to Google and type in Jegna versus mentor and hit enter. And so I will never call you no mentee. I will never call no person that's coming to learn from me no mentee. You can be a baby Jedi, you could be a student, you could be an apprentice, or you could be in this Jegna ship. But I ain't gonna never, because Kendi wouldn't call me no mentee. He wouldn't let me call him. The video, I won't even think I was even talking about. I was like, yo, he watches Facebook lives. He's up in the morning before 7:30 watching my Facebook live. I was just like, yo, you really on the study. I don't use that. And now I look at people and they just be like, yeah, so you can be my mentor. I said, no, I ain't neither. I said, I don't mess with that. I assassinate niggas who touch children.
Wow.
The children, I'm about to lay you down. So we don't do that. We out here, that's just a message from Kendi. Structural, not personal. Structural, not personal. And then the classes, you can still contact me, because this is how the class is going to go. It's going to be experiential. you will have to learn integration and facilitation. So facilitation is how to hold a container. So the best way you're going to learn it is you're going to come in a container. So my facilitation training is you have to take the medicine. I've already been doing it since 2020. After you finish taking the medicine, the next day, you will know how to facilitate, but you won't know how to integrate. So there will be an additional integration class on top of your ceremony. And so to be trained by me as a facilitator, you must go through 3 ceremonies. So the minimum it could take is 90 days, but it could take 3 years because it's up to you when you're going to come back for your next initiation. It can be self-paced. But what I'm about to do is start having them like 3 times a year. I'm gonna have opportunities for people to come together in like different locations in the country. Now, if you have something and you're ready to do something now, I like to have at least 3 to 5 people that go at a time, because you never, if 5 people to 1 facilitator. So I'm the sitter, I can only sit up to 5 people. So if it's 6 people, I got to bring somebody else in who's trained. I want you to be trained. Whoever asked the question that wants to be trained, I really want you to be trained badly. So when I need help, I can call you. I'm not training you so you can sit around and be like, look, everybody, man, that certificate gonna go fast. You could lose that. I'm gonna be on the horn like, yo, I'm in Thailand, I'm in Bali, but I got 3 people that really want to go in next weekend. Can you do that? Because I ain't gonna be able to get back. Well, I ain't gonna trust you unless I trained you. And that was the thing. I want to, she said, Googling right now. I want to train you so you can do what I'm doing. Replace me. And then put your pizzazz on it. Put your pizzazz on it. You may be a Reiki practitioner. You may be a graphic designer.
Nah, that's dope. I'm gonna tell you, man, like that's divine alignment. Y'all excuse my my guard back there, my security, my secret service. But yeah, like I actually I was scheduled to go into my Reiki training initiation this year, and now I'm looking at, yo, I'm gonna have to do both of these because I already was excited about that one, but now when you telling me about this, I'm like, wait, look, what do you say? What Baba Kindi said? We need more magicians, more sorcerers, more
right, more Jedis. That's why I run a program called Cosmic Jedi, COZ. Everything with a Z in it. Go to cosmicdojo.com. That's where I'm at. Cosmic Dojo is when you want to come in, because you still got to learn to speak the language. You still got to learn to speak the lingo that I'm going to teach you as a facilitator. If you ain't in the dojo, how you going to learn the language? How you going to learn the language of the moon? How you going to learn the language of the sun? How you going to learn the language of knowledge itself? You got to have all that before you talk about you want to be a facilitator.
Well, yeah.
That's what I got. So I got to give you that first. Then we meet up. Boom. Now we in the program. Pow. All right, doing boom, 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 boom. Now we got to learn integration. How do I integrate this into my life? And listen, I'm also going to show you how to make it an economic windfall for you and your family.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because we had somebody else that asked the question, like, what do I need to do, or how can I start to learn to grow my own? So that you want to tap into that a little deeper?
Repeat that question.
I said, yeah, we had somebody in the tribe in the comments that said that. They said, how can I learn to grow my own? So like pretty much what you were saying earlier, like that's one of the questions they had, is like, how can they learn to grow their own? But I'm assuming we got to go through the process.
I have Baba. Okay, now to be a facilitator, you don't have to learn how to grow. And to learn how to grow, you don't have to be a facilitator. You don't have to. If you want to put them together and get nasty with it, then go ahead. But I'm training facilitators, and growing is optional. And when you learn how to grow, being a facilitator is optional. Learning how to grow is very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. And I have the same video I learned from Kendi. The crazy part was I bought the video from Kendi, and then he lost the video. And then someone paid him for the video, and he was like, yo, you got that video? I was like, you talking about the one that I got from you? He said, yeah, I can't find it. Somebody needs it. I said, just give me their email. So that's when I became the caretaker of that video. So somebody would pay him, and then I would just send you the video. So if you want the video, just send me a message and say, I want to grow mushrooms or whatever. Go on the site, go on my Instagram, wherever you find me at. You just type in Cosmic Jedi, and then send me a message, and then I'll send you a Zelle or a Cash App, You shoot me the bread over. Mushroom grow video is $100. And you should pass it down to your whole family. My nephew knows how to grow. My cousin know how to grow. My cousin, this is the crazy part why I love how Kendi brought this together. My father and his first cousin, like they was like in their 60s and 70s, and they was like best friends. Well, she had a granddaughter, and then it was me. So now that we grew up, like we was 11, 12, 13, now we grew up and I'm in my 40s and she in her 30s. She had a daughter that she brought to learn from Kendi. So now my family bloodline learned from the best on how to grow mushrooms. And we had her in there making the pot, moving the stuff around, putting the mycelium in, loading up the pressure cooker, turning the top on it. Like we had all of that. That's in the bloodline. So when you get this, don't learn it by yourself. It's for everybody that's up under your roof. So if you're there by yourself, bring other people and say, hey man, we're gonna watch this video tonight. We done watched Top Gun together. We watched The Matrix together. Why don't we watch this video together and learn how to grow mushrooms? $100 is too much. You already got problems, but won't 4 of y'all go in $25 a piece?
Right.
Now y'all in there because you still got to go buy the half-pint jars. You still got to go buy the stuff off of Amazon. You still got to buy the pressure cooker. You see what I'm saying? So, but the thing is, you can leave all of this to your folks. Oh, this is a point too. Lots of videos on YouTube. I don't recommend the easy grow kits. They work just way better to make your own substrate with spores. Then you know exactly what's in them and you build relationships with them. So everything he said is true. What if you put Baba Kindi's tech on top of that? Because Baba Kindi ain't got no video talking about growing no mushrooms on the internet. And I'm not going to put it out. You can forget about that. Because on the mushrooms, all they're telling you about is bulk grow. If you grow, okay, this is important. Kindi's tech is called PF tech, where you would going to have 12 different small half-pint jars. So if one of them gets contaminated, the other 11 are not contaminated because their contamination was contained in one jar. On the YouTube, if you come out and mix in a whole tub and do a bulk grow, if you get a little contamination in the corner, it's going to destroy your whole tub. That's why you need to learn PF tech first. Because I was like, Kendi, when you going to teach me how to do bulk? His answer was, have you mastered the PF tech yet? He told me I ain't finished level. He said you ain't finished your breakfast yet. Talking about some dinner and some dessert. What you mean?
Nah.
Is you gonna finish them grits and oatmeal? How you talking about? You want some lasagna and some lamb chops and
that's dope though, because you know that reminds me of, like, for those who are on the channel that's in the E5, like that's how my Lowell taught me what, like, learning the Odu. Like I ain't teach you nothing till you learn the first 16 Odu. When you learn the first 16 Odu, the major Odu, then come back and talk to me about some divining with the Opalady.
Don't try to take no shortcut neither. Don't try to come back pressing me neither. Don't come back pressing me. Talking about, but I was thinking maybe you could, like, give me an exception of, man, go on somewhere. I said 16, didn't I? Okay then. Well, I see you when you get back. Okay, Jessica J brings up a good point. We do not grow mushrooms in soil. Okay? It's called substrate. Thank you, Jessica. You are sure enough catalyst. When's your birthday? But it's not soil. You cannot grow, we don't teach you to grow mushrooms outside. You grow them inside in a environment that you create. Growing mushrooms puts you into a God complex because you see how God created this whole ecosystem. So you're going to learn to grow these mushrooms in an environment that you can look down like God looking at the planet with a piece of glass over it. So it's not soil, it's substrate. You will make your own substrate, right? You could use manure, you might not use manure, but you're going to have cocoa coir, manure, and I forget the other thing right now at the top of my head, but you're going to learn all of this is in the video to create your own substrate with the hot water. Then you got to put it in the pressure cooker. You're not going to go outside and get the soil. That's why you can pass this down, and you can have an unlimited amount of mushrooms. And what you learn from growing in this, even though this video shows you how to, it's psychedelic and psilocybin mushrooms, you will learn to grow all mushrooms, turkey tail, oyster mushrooms, reishi, lion's mane, from the same technique.
Oh man, I promise. I just bought some oyster mushrooms. That's what I'm cooking up after I get off this show. That's what I'm cooking up for dinner tonight. I'm having oyster mushrooms.
With some grits.
Nah, I think I'm gonna do some baked beans and vegan hamburger, and probably like some potato salad and macaroni and cheese, or vegan macaroni and cheese. So I don't know, but either way, I got the shrooms is that's the meal for the night. I figured you might as well be in. And actually, it's funny because that wasn't even intentional either. Like, I guess maybe it was subconscious. Maybe they was talking to me through my subconscious because they know I'm getting ready, I'm cleansing and getting everything right to get ready to start this journey and take this flight. So they're like, here, we're gonna start you a little bit of this here tonight for dinner. How about we go to do that?
As a fat boy, let me give you this recipe, because you look like you can eat. You look like some food that got caught in your beard. Yeah. So let me give you this recipe.
Listen, yes sir.
Get the breading for the shrimp from the store. Get that seafood batter for the fish and the shrimp. Take the mushrooms and go into the milk. Then take them and put it in like an egg white or egg, up to you. If you don't use egg whites or eggs, don't mess with it. But go milk, egg white, milk, egg white, batter. Milk, or you can go one time, you can just go milk, egg white, drop it in that seasoning, shake it up a little bit, throw that bad boy in the air fryer, and get you some hot water for your grits going. And now you got your shrimp and grits. Now I know, brother, you don't know nothing about that, and you would not dare, disrespect yourself and eat some oyster mushrooms that taste like shrimp with some good grits on the side. I know you wouldn't do that, but this is for your audience and the tribe who would do this. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do that next time, because I don't know if I got everything here right now. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take that bad boy and I'm gonna put some doggone flour and some water, and I'm gonna mix it up, and I'm gonna season it with some doggone Lawry's and some Tony's and some Slap Your Mamas and some garlic powder and some onion powder and some paprika, and I'm gonna get that thing nice and seasoned up like some fried chicken wings, and then I'm gonna put it in there and mix it all up, and then I'm gonna take it in the bag with the doggone breadcrumbs, and I'm gonna put it in there, and then I'm gonna toss it in there. So we're gonna have some oyster chicken wings tonight. But I'm gonna try that shrimps and fish and grits though. I'm gonna try that one for sure.
I'm about to text my girl right now. That's what I want. I'm about to text my girl
yes,
right
sir.
now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm joking. Y'all think I'm joking? No, I'm texting her right now. I want some oyster mushrooms.
Listen. Nah, this has been dope, man. Shout out to the tribe. They're here doing what they do. And look, we got a double header tonight, y'all. We going in, we going hot, we're going hard, man. We'll be back tonight at 9:30. So I'm gonna get off here and make this food and get everything squared away. And we're gonna get right back at it at 9:30. We're gonna talk about Ifa and Kemet. So we got a real hot weekend, man. Real hot weekend. And then we'll be back tomorrow with the Wunam. I gotta double check to make sure and see if we're gonna do both the remote viewing and the pod, or just the pod or the remote. Either way, I'll let y'all know on that one. ASAP. I definitely had that lined up today too before we go live again, so I'll get that set up for y'all tribe. And I'm gonna run Sifu Oyi down and figure out something too to make this happen again. And bro, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't trying to put you on the spot, but I gotta put you on the spot, man. How I gotta see if I can get the tribe to match me with donations. I'll grab the video myself, and if, like I said, if I can get them to match me with donating and doing something with you, where we could do it maybe privately, to where we can watch it together, and then maybe get you to stick around and kind of chop it up with us, either before or after the video, kind of like a movie night out type thing, or like a tribe family reunion or something. I don't know, it's something we could talk about off there, but just an idea or thought, man, to try to make something happen with a collective, because I love sharing and pouring in with them, man, because I tell a lot of our guests, it's like I'm learning at the same time, everybody else is learning. Like this one, I'm taking notes, Just like I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there taking over. But then again, I see some people out there, like they can jump on this thing and talk about them shrooms with all some of the comments that they're sharing. Like we definitely got some people who like they doing their thing, man, for real. So that's what's up.
You definitely have a very intelligent audience. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I say ain't nothing going over their head, bro. They wouldn't be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's like the class for the what do you call this? What was the school of was it Alexander on X-Men? What did they call the school for the X-Men? When they went to the professor. I cannot remember.
Well, I don't know what the name of that one is, but I was gonna say Hogwarts. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got sorcerers in here. Hogwarts is still us, homeboy. All of them, all of the schools. Where Jokers was learning some mystery school teachings and trainings, all that was us. Period. Period.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
That's right.
Man, listen. Nah, this was dope, man. Like for real. I know how much time. I don't know if you got more time. How much time you got? You got more? You gotta get up out of here.
Some more questions, man. You already got me in the zone right now. I'm probably about to stand.
The question ain't going nowhere now. Look, be careful because you're gonna try to run me up to that 9:30. Because look, messing around with them, boy, they'll keep going. Keep going and going.
I'm just gonna stand up and just let my
look, they'll keep going and going and going, boy. You done said the wrong thing to the wrong tribe, boy. You must don't know them.
Give them about another 15. Give them about another 15.
Look, you don't know the tribe, man. Look, boy, because they'll have you here till midnight, man. We done 3-hour plus lives before, man. Look, look at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, man. We go in. We go in too. Okay.
We used to, let me say this right here to that story. Let me say to that point. Did you share or can you share the link to Baba Kalindi's playlist that I sent to you? That'd be my one request, that you share the playlist to the tribe, right? So when we was recording this playlist that he's going to give to y'all, Kalindi would stay on. So Blog Talk will give you 2 hours on the computer, and then it will give you 1 additional hour. So each of those episodes is 3 hours. Then Kalindi would be like, okay, I'm gone for the night. We would do another private call called the after party after the after party for another hour and a half. So we was going from 9 to midnight and then getting on a conference call. Kalindi would be going to bed. We was getting on another call for an hour and a half. So I know about them 1:30 in the nights meetings. So if that's who y'all are now, and that's my I ain't been in that territory in a while, but I do have the outfit. I do have the outfit to wear to come to that party for certain.
Listen. All right, now I'm telling you now, but we about that life around here in these Ashe streets now. I'm just letting you know. We about that life now. So look, be careful, cause look, boy, I already know we're gonna make this do what it do. And shout out to the brother Ryan Hayes, man. Me and him, boy, I think we like long lost Siamese twins or something. I don't know. We were chopping it up earlier. He came and burned the channel down twice in the last week or so, and we were chopping it up again this morning about some stuff we're gonna bring back again next week, but. It's like the divine alignment is dope, man. I knew when Big Bro introduced us, the way he introduced you, I already knew it was going to be a problem. So I was like, yeah, we got to make that happen ASAP. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, too, about doing the work. Because you know the personal challenges that I kind of fought through some of them, at least a little bit. And when we spoke, what's today, Friday? When we spoke Wednesday, you was like, yeah, man, so, we could go ahead and do next week. Like, the only time I really got, because I'm booked up, I probably could slide something in Friday, maybe about 3:30, but I could work with you like in the next week or two. Let's hit that Friday, bro. Let's go ahead and knock out that Friday, because you know what I'm saying. Like I do the work, bro. That's one thing I'm gonna do the work, because for me, I take pride in this work because it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's the we, and I'm grateful just to be here sitting in the seat. You know what I'm saying? To bring this type of information, to the tribe and to the audience. So it's like I love it, man. It's like whatever we can do to continue to pour in and to share, like Baba Kalindi would say, the more, we're going to help and empower and, uplift, each so many more people. And like people who I work with personally, that's one of my biggest challenges, even to my, I don't know what I call them, because I used to say the mentee, but I'm going to definitely have to change that. So as a Jenga, what would I call my student as a Jenga? If I'm the Jenga, or is the student the Jenga?
No, you are the Jegna.
Jegna. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now what would the the student be called? If I'm the Jegna, what would I call the student? Would I just say student?
I don't know the African term, but I would call them the neophyte or the initiate.
Okay, got you. Now that's Kemetic, so I'm used to that. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and Kemetic still is on the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so whether you got initiated in Santee, South Carolina, or Nigeria, you was still a neophyte. You know what I'm saying? You still wasn't initiated. You know what I'm saying? So initiate is appropriate and Jegna is appropriate. But if I introduce somebody to you as a mentor, you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a mentor. I ain't say he was my mentor. I said,
right.
They go mentor over there.
I got you.
They'll be smiling. They'll be smiling, and you'll be laughing. They'll be like, "Why is he laughing? Don't you want to come?" He said that I'm a mentor. You'll be like, "Nah, I'm good. I heard what he said. He did say he was a mentor. Yep, I heard what he said. I'm good. No, I'm straight. Thank you. I'm good."
Yes, sir. Nah, that's dope, man. Listen, so I'm gonna drop a few more questions in because I ain't see none. They probably, I don't know what they're doing, but they was throwing them. But I'm gonna ask a couple more because we hit so much, but we still had so much more that we wanted to hit. So we did kind of tap into mental health, and we did kind of tap into a little bit about how these medicines can help us with finances as well. So you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur, we're both coaches, we both do, similar work with the healing as well as, with the business and the coaching and consulting. So where would you create that bridge in regards to using and doing what I love to do, which is cheating, which is studying, or, like stealing or borrowing, information, like not stealing like that, but y'all know what I mean, but getting access to information and working with it. How can we utilize that, especially for those who are entrepreneurs already and those who are aspiring entrepreneurs? Because I'm about to implement entrepreneurship into the channel as well because of a few comments or a few requests that was made recently. So how can, once we get this process going with this supernatural, multiverse technology, how can we kind of implement that into what we do in regards to our products or services as an entrepreneur?
Boy, you nasty. You sure are a nasty interviewer. You are. I mean that with the highest of respect too. You is a nasty.
Listen, I take pride in it.
You terrible.
Look, I've been doing it from long days ago. Look, man, somebody just told me I was petty the other day. I said, well, hey, I don't say I agree with it, but I can see why you might throw a sleazy accusation around like that. But hey, whatever.
So the reason I said that is because when I get off of here, I want to finish this book I just started reading. And so, like Neo, I learned this in Bali. Y'all listen to this trick. When Neo was plugging into the back of the neck, think of that as an audio book turned up to like 1.5. So you don't got time to be sitting down reading it. He just laid back, plugged in, tapped in. So I listen to the entrepreneurial books that I want to implement. Who Not How, the Happy Pocket Full of Money, The Science of Getting Rich, The Law of Opulence. I pre-program my conscious and subconscious with these words that have already been channeled before I go into ceremony. So when the mushrooms come down and see that I have that tech inside of me, they'll give me the answer then. That's why this is a secret society. That's why it's a cheek to cheek, mouth to ear. You have to come in there in order for that to be explained. All I do is create the container. I grow the mushrooms. I make sure we're in a safe place, and I make sure that the integration, because when we come out of the ceremony, you're going to come back with a hit song like Michael Jackson, or you're going to come back with a piece of Picasso art, or you're going to come back to such and such. But when I train people to be facilitators, I don't know what you're going to come back with. You don't even know your real talents yet. You ain't done no mushrooms. You don't even know your real talents. So I can't answer that question. But when we get back, that's what I tell people. I said, check this out. I got two things for you. You ain't never been on no flight. There wasn't no turbulence. So it's going to be a hell of a ride. And in the morning when you finish, I'll be right here to help you. Unpack it. When the plane lands, what do the people do? I'm the ground crew. It's going to be a hell of a ride. There's going to be some turbulence. You ain't never been on no flight. There was no turbulence. But I'm going to show you what to do. Keep your seatbelt on. Breathe. This is I give a couple of techniques to people. And then the second part is when you get back, let's unpack it. Then when you come back and you tell me what you received, then we'll be like, okay, let's put this over here. This goes right here. This goes right here. Oh, you're a Taurus with Scorpio in the 3rd house, and you are a Libra, and you are also a generator in human design, and you have the 214 channel, and you are a manifesting generator, and your ideal was this, and your piece was this, and your piece was this. Because you all are just like looking at it like, what the freak just happened? What in the world? And me, I'm doing y'all like Kendi was doing me, just at a lower level. I would call Kendi first thing in the morning. He would just be quiet. He'd be so quiet, I thought he'd put himself on mute. And I'd be like, all right, I'm finished. And then he'll be like, boom, 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 ta-da. All right, boom, go implement. Gotta go implement now. Gotta go implement. He already helped me kind of explain what was going on. But he couldn't tell me nothing until I told him what I could retain. Because I started asking him, I was like, Baba, all this stuff happened, I couldn't retain it all. I said, what herbs can I take to help increase my memory when I'm inside? He was like, do you smoke cannabis? At that time, I didn't. I was like, no. He said, well, you're just gonna have to go back in there more often. And so and now I do bear witness that the more often I could bring back more, the more often I went. So now I need less. I don't need to go in on 10 grams or 12 grams or 14 grams. I can, but I ain't in no hurry. I went in on 1.5 grams about 3 months ago. My God, man, it was so vainglorious. You don't know nothing about black boot stomping. It was so vainglorious on just 1.5 grams. And I was just like, yo, thank you. And it just cleared up the path. I didn't need to go super, super, super deep. It just like brought me in behind the veil and just reminded me a whole bunch of stuff. Gave me a nice emotional healing. One thing for all the brothers is out here listening. You ain't cried enough. Especially if you're a martial artist. If you're a martial artist or you competitive and you're a black man, you have not cried enough. You're holding some tension inside the heart. I brought Bufo to Atlanta for black women, but mushrooms, that's my personal favorite for healing relationships. I love it. What make me feel the best is being able to tell you a story about a husband and a wife coming to do mushrooms together. And the wife was like, this is my trauma. And the husband was like, that's my boo. So I'm going with her. Whatever she's doing, I'm doing it too. You know what I'm saying? And so now they come in there and he's having his own experience. He thought he was going to be in there supporting his wife. No, I'm supporting your wife and you having your own experience. And he come out in the next morning and be like, wow, I have this particular trauma came up and now I'm past it. And this explains why I was acting this way towards my wife. It was originally the wife was coming for some, I want to get in contact with my grandma. I got this trauma about blah, blah, blah. But the husband had a breakthrough also. And for me, there ain't nothing out here that's offering this technology to the brothers who need to heal their nervous system and and clean their tear ducts out. You see what I'm saying? Because we have been conditioned to be so tough. But when you have the right sitter, man, when I'm sitting for you, I have the I wish a nigga would attitude. So my whole I said it. So like when people come to my house or wherever I sit for them, nothing else is going on in the vicinity. I'm talking about on the property. Nothing is moving. Nobody moved. Nobody get hurt. Period. Only thing moving is the participants. So I'm not gonna be somewhere. Oh, we'll be in this room and they're gonna be over. Well, then we ain't gonna be in that space. We're gonna find us something else, or that's gonna have to get shut down. And we're gonna pull in the right people. I'm bringing all my whole squad. I'm bringing in my whole squad for the perimeter, so you can have this particular experience. So go ahead and cry. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. It's dark in here anyway. It's already pitch. I got the room pitch black, and you and the other person, they don't even care that you crying because they doing their thing. They somewhere else, and they part of the solar system. You know what I'm saying? So that's going this way. Then what happens when you start laughing? Laughing is a healing medicine. Man, I done seen some women getting there who didn't even know each other, be in that joker laughing by a good 3 hours, tire themselves out from laughing and giggling, and you know what I'm saying, like camaraderie and all that. And all I do is just wait in the morning for the breakfast, because I'm coming through with the French toast. I'm coming through with the fruit pet, the fruit. So you need dark fruit because mushrooms take up melanin. When you eat mushrooms still take something. So you don't.
So what do you recommend? Like blackberries, blueberries? Like what would you recommend for the dark fruits?
Well, I'm going to do enzymes first before I even get to the dark fruit. So pineapples, mangoes, cantaloupe, watermelon. Them 4s off the gate. Then I'm putting me some blackberries in there, some blueberries in there. But I need to get them enzymes in there and restore the body the next day of the enzymes that you just used up. I'm gonna keep you hydrated, but the pineapples and all that's gonna hit me with the enzymes. Then I got anything that's dark that you like. That's on you. What do you like? It's dark. Just bring it in there because dark is melanin. So you just put that on top of that with the enzymes. I like salmon croquettes, you know what I'm saying? Most of the people, but if somebody was a vegetarian, they just wouldn't eat the salmon croquettes. I'd have something else for them. And then we'd have like some turkey bacon or whatever the whole situation is. Because when you come out, remember now you've been fasting for 7 hours. Then you went on another 9-hour ceremony. When you wake up in the morning, when the sun come up, you can be ready to eat a whole head or something. That's what I do is make sure the facilitation, and these are just skills that I really incorporated when I used to sell dope, because I used to have a cookout at my house, and you bring a case, this joker bring a case, somebody bring an ounce, this other person bring the blunts, somebody bring the plate, somebody bring some hamburgers, then we just put it together. So this one is just a little more sacred, you know what I'm saying? This one is a little more ancestral, healing directed, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how we do that.
Yeah, now that's dope, bro. And so, man, this is dope. I definitely look forward to doing this. As however often as our schedules can allow, bro.
Medication. Before, so I know you got somebody to ask about if you're on any type of over-the-counter medication, because when you get to the form, you're gonna fill out the form, and it's gonna ask you what over-the-counter medication are you taking. We want to wean you off for 30 days before you go into ceremony. We want to wean you off before you go into a high dose ceremony. How will we do that? You start with microdose and lower dose and start weaning yourself off of it. You're taking some every day, go back to every other day, go back to every 2 days, then go to every 3 days. Then you at once a week maybe. But you are substituting that with the microdose and letting the neuro channels be repaired and your body getting acclimated to this new thing that's entering, because the body is designed to fight things that are foreign. So when you take it in smaller doses and then you are weaning off of the unnatural, then you won't have this collision. But I'm not going to give you a high dose of mushrooms and I know you was just on some strong pharmaceuticals over the counter, which is my problem. I won't talk about my beef right now with when you just go buy mushrooms from Ray Ray and them off the streets. The dude who got the weed is not the mushroom man. He got some mushrooms because he want to make some money, but he don't got the same intentions as me. He can't answer the questions about mushrooms. He's just going to say, oh, this is a strong mushroom. What that mean? What that mean is strong. So what? That ain't all I want. This is not weed. Somebody please write this down. Mushrooms ain't weed. Mushrooms ain't weed. Mushrooms ain't weed. I ain't down in weed, but it don't compare it. That you can just treat it the same. It doesn't act like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The brother said he suggests the Vivek trip reports on YouTube. Very detailed experiences from people's trips, good and bad. There's no such thing as a bad trip. There's only a bad facilitator. because we're not gonna blame the mushrooms. And that's why I tell people my playlist that's on that site is melanin oriented. I don't listen to a lot of white people in their testimonials because they blame the mushrooms on it being a bad trip. Did you eat? Oh yeah, I was eating right before that. Or I was at the club and I had the most terrible trip. Or it was in the middle of the day and I just ate a handful. How much was it? I don't know, but it was a terrible experience. No, nigga, you was the terrible. You try to facilitate yourself. You look like a lawyer defending themselves in court. You about to lose. And the mushrooms are living entities, and they will chastise you if you come in there disrespectful. And then you will come and tell everybody, ooh, this was bad. No, that was you. Why is the person beside you who did fast, who was being honorable, who put it on his altar, he had the same strain and the same amount, but he had a wonderful experience. And it's a thing bad trip.
I had to share this because I don't know why, but when you said that, talk about the lawyer representing themselves, I don't know why, but the first thing that came to my head was back in the day when we was little. I can't speak for you, but I'm gonna speak for me. When I was little, we used to go to the store, me and all my cousins and mama and aunties and all that, and my behind mess around and get in trouble. So when we get back to grandma's house, I got to get a whooping, and everybody else get to go have fun and keep going outside and playing. But I done got my ass whooped, but I got to sit in the house and can't do nothing. Like that reminds me of that person blaming the trip on the mushroom. Like you the one went out there showing your ass. That's why you got your ass whooped. Now you gonna sit your behind down somewhere and you want to blame it on your mama? No, your mama doing what she was supposed to do. You should have been out there cutting up in the stove.
Who was you representing in the store? Your mama told you before you get out the car. Before you got out the car, she said those words.
Don't come in with that foolishness, boy.
We over here at Miss Mavis's house. I know you ain't about to go in. Go on, get in the car. Go on, get in. When you heard them words, you was like, oh.
Yeah, buddy.
And when your daddy get home, you getting another one.
Man, listen. Yep.
You can't blame daddy and mama. You had a warning.
Sure did. Yes, sir. That's what that reminded me of, man. I don't know why that came in my head, but that it seemed like them days back in the getting in trouble in the store. Like, you ain't do what you was supposed to do. You're going to come back and try to act like it wasn't you. You know good and daggone well that was you that was in there cutting up, doing things you weren't supposed to do. That's funny.
Right.
Man, this was dope, bro. This is dope. I tell you what, man, because, oh, man, we gotta, let me see. Do we got any more? I got like one or two more, I think, questions that I'll bring, and then I know you got to get out of here too. But
short answers on this one. Let me see, can I do short answers on these next two?
Okay. I got fine. Okay, here goes one of them. Okay, so Mentu Ra says, what about the Chaga Tea and Foti?
I don't know what Foti is, but I knew though that that Chaga Tea, I like that because you can boil one piece over and over. And I would advise you to get it from like Alaska or Canada. And on the bag where you get your Chaga tea, your Chaga mushrooms, okay, make your own, order some Chaga mushrooms, boil some water, put the Chaga mushrooms in there for about 10, 15 minutes. Not on a high boil, just where it's just moving like 100 degrees. Then turn it down, let it settle. Then, ta-da, come with that Chaga tea. That one mushroom, you might get about 10, 15 pots out of that because Chaga's very, very strong. So Alaska, Canada, Chaga mushrooms from cold environments, from Russia, Siberia, stuff like that. Chaga tea, we all should be drinking that. Like, I thank you for reminding me. I ain't had no Chaga tea since I've been back from Bali. But I'm about to go on Amazon, or I'm about to go to Etsy. Really got all the mushrooms. Etsy got the whole situation on lock, because Etsy be letting stuff get away with stuff. So I ain't that brave, but I know some of my vanilla mycelium people, they going crazy and making mad paper on Etsy, selling fruit and everything else. And I ain't hating on them, but I just rather, what I'm having is very boutique. I don't want to grow a whole wide variety. I don't want to serve penis envy. I'm African. I'm magical. I got a strain of mushrooms that's African and magical that nobody could find. You couldn't find it from Kendi when he was here. You type in Tamarian blues on the internet, you ain't gonna find nothing. Tamerian, Tamerian blues mushroom. You will find nothing. Go to Perplexity, go to AI. They can't tell you. So we at a point in history right now where the mushrooms is running the show too. The mushrooms is the one that's guiding my steps. Shawuchi? If you're talking about some Shawuchi, I do know about some Shawuchi. Just take a little shot of that Shawuchi. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you into.
That's what they said. They're like, it's also called, 4T is also called Shawuchi. So yeah, I think that's what that was good.
I think that's now if it's Shawuchi that I used to drink, that's a Chinese elixir that's good for the blood. So yeah, I'm down with the Shawuchi. Now I want to order some Shawuchi around here for sure. And the Chaga Tea though, I'm definitely about to get some Chaga Tea from Etsy.
Yeah, it's funny because Etsy, look, that's my go-to spot for my items I need for my rituals, for like my spiritual work, man. Like I used to go to boutique shops, but it's like they always out of everything I need. I messed around one day, I guess, look, the spirit led me to Etsy. I've been like, that's the plug ever since. That's where I order all my materials at now, for the most part. Okay. So we got two more quick ones. One was shout out to Ogun Shola Humble Heart said, can you name the book one more time? I think she's talking about, was it Psychedelic Gospels? She probably talking about Psychedelic Gospels, I'm assuming.
Psychedelic Gospels.
If it's not Psychedelic Gospels, Ogun Shola, share if you can give me like another clue. She said the book by
that's it. The book by the Caucasian couple. That's them. Now, I also want y'all to get the God Molecule.
God Molecule, okay.
I'm putting that on the reading list too. The God Molecule. That's that Bufo. Type in Mike Tyson Bufo or Mike Tyson hotboxing Dr. Jerry. Dr. Jerry, Mike Tyson. That's enough. Gerry. Dr. Jerry, Mike Tyson. Hit enter. Watch that 23-minute video. You'll see what's happening. Get the book God Molecule. There's another book called Spirit Molecule. That's NN-DMT. God Molecule is 5-MeO-DMT. NN-DMT is like the mayor of Los Angeles. 5-MeO-DMT is like the emperor of the world, Craig. Right. So when people hear DMT, there's DMT in your body. You were born with DMT. That means everybody's dirty because everybody got DMT in their mind, but it's not secreting and coming from the mind like that because we in such a messed up space. So Spirit Molecule is a cool book, but I'm recommending God Molecule. Yes. And man, like you said, this could go along.
I told you, listen. I told you, I said, man, look, be careful what you're saying now, boy, because look, we ain't called a tribe for no reason now. Look. Look, it ain't just me.
I see that.
Look, I said, be careful, boy. You can't tell them I say tribe members that, boy, because they'll turn up on you. Hey, ass here till midnight. Look, you'll be joining the 9:30 call. We're gonna make that a panel discussion, boy, because we're talking about Kemet. So look, it's all tied together, man. And it's so dope because I was just talking about Mike Tyson the other day, man. So it's all divine, bro. It really is. It's all divine, man. For real.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate you having me on the show, brother, and giving me an opportunity to represent the ancestors and the masters that came before me. So I ain't. If it's something y'all disagree with or you don't like, then that's on me. But if there's anything that I said that I could help you, then that's on my ancestors and the gods that I serve. So I ain't really about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just wanting to be a channel so you can see that one day I'm gonna be wanting this from you. I'm gonna be wanting you to channel for your people, to your people when I ain't around. You see what I'm saying? Because once you start going back listening to them Kendi interviews, I was getting set up. I was getting set up because
I heard it in the first one, like, and that's why I love it though, because like I said, it's so divine. Because I was talking about Mike. I think that, shout out to Orisha Stone. I think that was the live we did last Friday, and I was talking about Mike Tyson and how fascinated I was with him as a child, watching him knock people's faces off in the ring, but how powerful and how destructive it was, but also how beautiful and how calculated it was. It was like ballet in the ring, the way he would dance, you know what I'm saying? And then just knock your whole neck loose, you know what I'm saying? But it was like beautiful, it was like beautiful destruction. And so the way my mind works, because my mind is different, but I don't know what's gonna happen when I start my journey. But the way my mind works, I saw the beauty in both elements. But I always thought about, okay, well, for him to be that powerful, that destructive, almost like a tornado, how in the hell was he able to still be so graceful, so fast, and so precise with it? And then that's where it goes back to the teacher. And so once I saw Customato and I saw his ability to teach and his genius in being a teacher and how he could challenge Mike. He challenged Mike. He would punk Mike, like make Mike mad in order to get him to accelerate and push him past what his self-perceived limits were. And then that's when it all made sense to me as to what I saw in that ring. So it was like a beautiful orchestra, man, that was put together. So I saw that between you and Kendi in the very beginning, even if, and I don't know, you could correct me, but at that point, just from where I'm at in the journey from what you shared with me, I don't know if at that point, Kendi saw you as being a student of his at that point yet or not, but I know you damn sure saw him as your teacher, and I'm clearly you sitting here right now, you know what I'm saying, today as a product of that. So the people I've been sharing about this show, man, I was like, yo, this dude, he got a top-notch, pedigree, man, because he came from one of the masters. So I'm like, that's why I never do anything without having knowledge of it, because I'm just not one of them people that's just gonna go out there doing anything, you know what I'm saying, from anybody. But I like to take the time to research and study and see what's going on. Kind of like with this interview, I want to make sure that I took the time to learn as much as I could before getting on the interview, because that way I know I can go down roads or flight paths that, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be able to travel down if I didn't have the time to do the research, and see what I'm working with. So it's like, that's where the beauty of research and studying come from, man.
All facts. And then that's just the prep. That's the pre-integration. Also, please post the Condor 7-day integration workbook before I leave. I want to say something about that. Integration is no longer an option. I said, it's like.
Is it on your website?
No. It's at the top of the. It's at the top of the Sorcerer's Brews and the Keys. It's at the very top. At the very top.
All right, I'll go find it. I knew I had it somewhere. I'm gonna go find it. Go ahead and holler at the people. I'm gonna run off camera and go find that real quick.
Okay, so integration. When you have sex, there's 3 parts: foreplay, the actual do, and then the cuddling. Integration is the foreplay and the cuddling. The ceremony or the microdosing or the heavy dosing is the doing the do. You need to have integration before and you need to have integration afterwards. Don't just jump in and take it and, just throwing it down. So even if it's a microdose and you don't feel anything, you still need to have your journey documented. They didn't have this 25 years ago. Man, you making a point. Man, listen, they didn't have this. Kendi he didn't teach this type of integration. There was no Condor approach. When Condor approach came around, just Google the Condor approach. The Condor approach. That came after Kendi because of Kendi. Dr. Jerry didn't have a post-integration for Bufo. We are at a precipice right now in history that we ain't been in before. This is new territory. Kendi didn't know how it was going to turn out. That's how I can say, don't come over here talking about this is scary. You think I don't know that? He didn't know where it was going. And then he left me. That's how I feel. When he passed away, some people say, oh, he translated even over to Ancestral. No, that's great. I was on the phone with him that morning at 11:30. 4 hours later, he was gone. You left me. We had plans that we ain't even activated yet. You gone. I was upset. But now, I got to get out my feelings and get back in the field and do the work. You see what I'm saying? So The book on Amazon is called The Condor Approach 7 Day, or you can just put The Condor Approach Workbook. I would get the Kindle version, so you could just write it into your journal. If you want to have it in your hand, I don't know, I don't have one right here. Do I? I normally have them all around the house or something.
Well, that link, it might not show up, but that is your Amazon link though. So family, if y'all click that link, it'll bring you directly to Amazon to the workbook. I got mine, get yours, because it'll definitely help you to take all this insight and knowledge that we're picking up on today. We'll be able to pick up what he's dropping down. So yeah, definitely grab the ebook, because that's like I said, I got mine already. I already dug into mine already. So I wanted to make sure. I like to do the work, man. So it ain't no shortcuts. I look at that like people who get the BBLs or they put the Fox locks in, man. Now go through the process, like for real, because, I don't respect people taking shortcuts, because you're not, the beauty of anything of achievement or accomplishment is the process. You know what I'm saying? Like the person who goes and pays for the ass and pays for the titties and the lips and all that, you're not going to enjoy that or sustain that as long as the person who went to the gym and who worked for it, because you didn't go through the process. The process is what makes, whatever that is great. So for example, people that go through the process of going from broke to rich, the ones who earned it righteously, it don't matter if they go broke again. You know why? Because they have the process. So they know how to go back and get it again. So that's where, I don't take no shortcuts with nothing, man. Like for this podcast, this is my third podcast. I done had 2 podcasts that I wasn't successful at, you know what I'm saying? But it took that third one for me to figure it all out from the lessons I learned from the first 2 to be able to get this one to be, to flourish into what it is, not to mention the guidance and the blessings of the ancestors. But the process is something I wouldn't trade for nothing, you know what I'm saying, for nobody in the world.
What did Kendi say? You ain't doing what the ancestors was doing because you ain't doing what the ancestors was doing.
That part. Yes, sir.
You ain't doing what the ancestors is doing. So how could you want to get the results they got? People be asking me, talking about, so can I take mushrooms and put it in a smoothie? Is everybody looking at my facial expression? Did your ancestors put it in a smoothie? Did they have a smoothie machine? Did they have a ninja machine in ancient Kemet? Did they look at the mushroom and be so afraid of it that it must taste good to them? Were your ancestors whining, I don't like how it tastes?
That part. Yes, sir. Now I put the link in the shout out to Sherry Blossom. I put the link in the website for you too. It's the Cosmic THECOZMIC Jedi JEDI, and it's in the comments in the chats as well, family. So
and tribe, if you need if you are ready to get started on your microdose journey, we can make that happen. So contact me and I will send you the order form. So there is no website for you to go over there and find it over there, because the brother already was, and I was like, bruh, this in-house. You contact me, I let you look at the order form, and the brother will co-sign that the order form is very thorough. You will definitely not go wrong on your selection process for your needs. If you're studying Tantra and you're a woman, I got something on there for you. If you're a man studying masculinity or Tantra, I got something on there for you. If you already been doing mushrooms and you are you want to go into have deep vision, I got something for you. Thoughts on Blue Lotus tea. Who is this Mentu Ra? Somebody else.
I don't know, but that's the last question, because whoever that is, they slid that one in. I said 2 more, but look, I'm gonna let that one go there. Yeah,
it's all good.
That's one of your people though, because I see the link. So they came from your link. So that's one of your tribes.
Only reason I'm asking that is because they are trying to be psychic too. So, all right, listen. There's something called MAO inhibitors, right? And your liver is filtering everything that you take into your body. But when you take the psilocybin, you don't want the liver to filter that. You want to liver to let 100% of the psilocybin get in. So blue lotus mixed with these two other herbs that I give you is in a specially brewed tea that you drink 30 minutes before you take the mushrooms. You take the you can use blue lotus tea by itself, but the other ingredients is Syrian rue and deer tongue. But you have to know how much to put together. So I give you a tea that you drink 30 minutes before you take the mushrooms. And then there's a mushroom tea. So like if you do a 0.5 gram or 1 gram or 1.5 gram, that's like a small dose, but I still give you a tea that has blue lotus. What are my thoughts on blue lotus is it helps you relax. The name of my business is Relaxation is the Tea. Everything I'm telling you is under the umbrella of relaxing. Any tool I can find, like Jackie Chan doing Drunken Monkey, that I can win with to get you to relax, I'm going to use it. Mushrooms will get you to relax. Your proper Qigongs and breathing will get you to relax. But blue lotus gets to the point. But when you put blue lotus with Syrian rue with deer tongue, then you come with the psilocybin behind it. Go on out there. Go on out there. Stop. Oh, you was worrying about the shallow? Go on out there. I got something for you. Drink this and then wait 30 minutes and then drink this and then go on out there. Well, I'll see you. I'll be here when you get back. Go ahead. Yeah. Go on out there. That's how I want, bro. I just want jokers to go on out there. I'm from the country. I cannot clean that up any. Go on out there. Brother, maybe you can translate what I'm saying into another civilized term, or that's
get it cracking, get it popping, man. We're gonna make it do what it do, babe. Make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you got to do. You got to make it do what it do, man, for real. Look, and I promise this is the last one too, because this is a legitimate one. It's an easy one. So 1G4 said, do you ship internationally? So I said I bring that one to the flow. That's the last one though, because we got to go. But
that's on a case to case, you know what I'm saying? Because then I really don't like that, because if it get caught in customs, then you're gonna be hollering at me. So I don't know what they're gonna open it up. So I really just try to, you know what I'm saying, stay out of that right there. See what I'm saying? So not right now. Some other people might. Now, if it comes to growing mushrooms, if I can't ship to you, then you're the one who really needs to get the grow video, because the things that you need are already in your country. Somebody already has the mycelium or the liquid culture for you to put in. You can go get a bag of popcorn, or you can go get the rice. You can do Uncle Ben's rice recipe. You could do the one that Kendi has with the PF Tech. But all the things you need are in your country. You just don't have the instructional videos. And you would have to get a different strain. And then you tell me what country you in. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's a spore print, but if you're just getting started, like Kendi doesn't show you how to take it from a spore print. Spore print is a little more advanced. But once you learn this basic principle and understand how mushrooms grow, because really how mushrooms grow is how we should be growing collectively when we're doing business with one another. When we coming through our incubator and we're forming like Voltron. Voltron is what is the objective I'm shooting for. So maybe I could come to your country. Are you in Canada? Come to Detroit. All you gotta do is just, I don't know what part you in, but Kendi was from Detroit, and that's right across the water. So if you can get to Detroit, you can show enough, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could point you in the right direction. Let me just say that. If you can get to Detroit, I can point you in the right direction.
I sure.
Because it's one of my same things from the street is safety first, and then rule number 3 is safety first.
Yes, sir. No, I feel you. That's real. No, that's dope. And I got one last question, because this one was a legit one too. I don't know if we answered it or not. I know somebody in the tribe did answer it, and I appreciate. I forgot the name who answered it, but I did have one more. I think it was Nkosi who asked the question: does your sitter have to be someone who's experienced or not? And that's the last one. I know, we went for a minute, but does the sitter have to have experience or not?
I got a whole document I already did on that. I'm about to send you that right now so you can share it with the tribe. That joker, if you stay out of my telephone, I could have been gone, but he all in my telephone, everybody. Y'all see. Y'all see he digging in he digging in my crate over here like a DJ.
They know how I do, boy. Look, they know how I do, boy. I'm gonna dive in and get all the way to the nitty gritty, boy. Hey, we like the goodie mob around here, boy. We're going for the green out here.
like a whole DJ. Okay, so the answer to the question. Damn, can I share my screen? Because then I can just. I'd love.
You should. Let me see. Go ahead and give it a shot, man. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Okay.
I use StreamYard specifically just to stream. I use Zoom for like all my actual meetings and presentations.
If they let me,
let me remove myself. If I remove myself, let me see if you can do it.
No. Hold on. We about to see right now.
Okay.
Sit down. Okay, what do y'all see on the screen?
Oh, let me add it. I gotta add it. But I saw it come up, so I can add it now. Hold on 1 second. Okay, boom. Is that it?
What do you see on the screen? I'm gonna reset it one more time. Hold on, let me try it one more time.
Okay.
I want to go straight to the tab. This should be it right here. Okay, can you see something now?
All right, let me share it again. All right. How's that? Do you see it?
Ask the tribe.
I see it. Do y'all see it, tribe? Anybody in there? Y'all see the
Do you see where it says set and setting? All these instructions are nighttime indoor ceremonies, not daytime. You see that?
Yep. All that. Yep. Yeah, they see it. Yeah, they see it. Yep. See the guidelines.
You can right here. The sitter's job is to keep you undisturbed at all costs. Keep people away from you and keep your phone and car keys away from you. Stay off the phone until at least after sunrise. Make sure you are comfortable. Help you with blankets if need be, or go to the restroom and just keep an eye on you. That's all. The sitter should also try to limit conversation with you and no physical contact. The sitter is providing ears and eyes, not mouth and hands. Let the person have their own experience. No matter what the person says, they will be fine. Just listen. But you don't have to keep acknowledging them. They are trying to ground, and that's the opposite of what's supposed to be happening. The fruit of the gods is not at all about grounding. If they want to be held, give them another blanket or two, putting that in red. You know what I'm saying? Set and setting is all they need. So guide them back to the bed or their comfortable space. If they end up on the floor, that's cool, but don't hold them or cuddle with them or none of that if they ask. And nobody call the cops under no circumstances. LOL. They're probably hungry in the morning. So the person that's sitting for you has to be able to read at a 6th grade level, because that's what this is. Do I recommend it being someone who already has done mushrooms before? 100%. But if you can't get that, you need to have someone there that you trust. Do you trust this person? So I've had like an older lady, she was in DC. She couldn't get me to there, but she had a 21-year-old daughter who had never done mushrooms, but she could read at a 6th grade level. And then she had my number. We had a little conversation before that night, and she was prepared. So that's just for the sitter, not the integrator. You're really not a facilitator all the way because you don't know, but you're going to get an education though. Just sitting there observing for those 6 hours, you are definitely going to get an education about mushrooms and a person's experience that you will not find on YouTube. And if they follow all the instructions in that document that I just gave you, that I wrote in 2020, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's dope. Well, hey, listen, I'm gonna just put this out there. I'm gonna definitely run them down again, man. And so we ain't gonna be able to get all of them in today, but we're gonna get them back in this thing, you know what I'm saying, and do divine time when these schedules align. We're gonna definitely get them back and make this thing happen again, because this was dope. I already knew it would be, but Man, oh man, boy, we're getting it in. Yes, sir. So with that, man, this was it was phenomenal, brother. I appreciate you too for taking the time, man, to chop it up. And yeah, we here now. So you want to leave the tribe with anything, you know, on the way out before we get you back in the booth?
Hey man, One Step at a Time Studios. When you are on this journey of discovering yourself and moving toward applied knowledge of self, you must have applied knowledge of self before you get to self-mastery. You must know who you are before you're talking about you a master of who you are. Mushrooms is the tool that helps guide that. There are no bad trips, just bad setting, bad strategies. That's all. The mushrooms aren't bad. So take your time and listen to the mushrooms. Listen to the mushrooms. Sit with the mushrooms in meditation. Sit with them in your lap. Hold them against your dantian. Breathe with them. Talk to your mushrooms before you put them in your mouth. Even if you're taking this a little 0.3 capsule to put in your mouth, talk to it first. Pray over it like you was back in church. Take that old habit, put some Reiki on it. You know what I'm saying? Draw your sigils on it before you put it in your mouth. Ask for assistance from your spirit team. Okay? Don't just be taking it recreationally, and separate yourself too from people who just think that this is a recreational thing. It is not. This is not marijuana. This is not casual. This is not Woodstock. This is Wakanda. This is scientific research.
That part. No, that's dope, man. Like that's real dope. Yeah, that was another one of them ones again, man. So yeah, I could go on and on and on. So I'm gonna go ahead and
get some rest, man. You gotta recuperate before the 9:30, man. You better go.
Know what I say. Listen. I gotta hit the eject button, man, and parachute on down back to the ground so I can get ready to take flight again tonight.
Ooh, no, danger's on. Danger's on.
Listen, I feel like them pilots for real, boy. We all over the place in this mothership, buddy. That's real.
Yes, what you think was talking about? Oh, I also, when you do start growing your mushrooms, damn, I forgot to put this in there. Play music for them. Play music for your mushrooms. Play music for your mushrooms while they're growing. You think you can grow them for the plant? Plants ain't even human. Mushrooms inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide just like a human. So these are extraterrestrials up in your house. Okay,
that's
plants exhale oxygen. So that's why we don't say, as I was teaching the brother, the word is entheogen, not plant medicine. And the root word of entheogen is Theos, which means God. Entheogen is when you go in the presence of God. It's right in the middle. Entheogen, entheogenic experience. This is not a hallucination. This is a going before the presence of the Most High Source, the Great Mother. That's what this is. Entheogen, a living, breathing entity with 3 billion years of intelligence. You are not old enough. Somebody didn't ask this question. Stop setting intentions when you take your mushrooms. You don't know enough to know what to ask for. Empty your cup so they can fill it up. How you gonna go in there and get a fill up and your cup is full of your little intentions? Oh, I'm 55 years old. I'm 60 years old. I'm 19. Oh, the white people told me to set an intention. The sister told me to. That's because that's her level of initiation. I'm at a higher level of initiation. Setting intentions don't work for mushrooms. You actually are being counterproductive because you're still trying to be a control freak. I just want to see this ancestor. I just want to have this experience. Go smoke some weed then. Go drink a lot of water. Go do a fruit fast. You can tell that and control that. This ain't something you walk in there and start imposing your will upon that. Brother, stop asking for women to surrender to you if you can't surrender to the mushrooms. You having a problem with her following your instructions? One, you a weak leader. You want some good leadership skills? Go over there to the mushrooms. Ladies, you having a problem falling and thinking you don't need no man, you some kind of alpha or something like that, and you having a problem surrendering, go take some mushrooms. Just that simple. It's gonna be all organic. But that's what you must do. You must empty your cup if you want to take something out of it. Period.
Yes, now that's dope. Listen, and I promise this is the last thing, but damn it, you brought this one up. You said Theo, root word for entheogen. Now, and I promise this is the last thing.
Theos is the Greek word for God. Theos is the Greek word for God.
Now, I was just talking about a place, and I'm pretty sure with you being a student of Doc, you probably heard of this place. But does that have, and I promise the last question, but does that have any correlation to the mountain or the quantum, what they call it, quantum crystal city that they call Mount Thelios or Mount Telios? Is it Mount Telios or Thelios? You ever heard Mount Telios?
No, but you know my fingers can do the walking.
Listen, so that's okay. That's another conversation because we already gotta go because we start down that road. Yeah, we ain't gonna get off this highway. But anyway, that's deep though. That's deep. That's deep. I think we could probably pick up like going into these. And it's an inner earth a place where they say that is a mountain, a quantum mountain of the Lemurians. That's supposed to be you could get to by I want to say Mount Shasta. So kind of like how they just found that all those new structures underneath the Sphinx. There's supposed to be So we can get into that on another one though for sure. Because like I said, we went in and went hard, man. We went real hard.
I'm not hip to the Mount Thelios yet because I don't got the proper spelling, but
okay. Well, yeah, and I'll see if I can get something to bring it for the next one. But we hit more than enough. I can tell you that. Look, she's Ogun Shola said, "Don't say last question no more on no live. Don't say." I know that's right. Yeah, I ain't gonna say it no more. You right because people look, they gonna keep coming. So you right about that. That's real. I'm gonna stop doing that. But man, nah, it was dope though, bro. I can't wait to do it again.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, Telos. Telos subterranean.
Am I pronouncing it wrong? I might have been pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, Telos subterranean city beneath Mount Shasta. Telos.
Okay, there we go. Mount Telios. Yeah, Telos. Yeah. Telos. I said Telios. Okay, that's why when you said that was the root word, that immediately drew my mind because I was talking about Mount Shasta, but I don't think I've spoke about Mount Telios. But we've been going there, and we got some stuff coming with Agartha, Shambhala, you know, all the inner earth. And all that good stuff, man. So we definitely doing the work, and we got some good things coming for the tribe for sure.
There's a book everybody should get called Secrets from Mount Shasta, since you want to be all. So that's my last one right there. That's for the Adept Chamber. Secrets from Mount Shasta. I'm gonna just leave it at that right there. We don't get no preview or nothing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I got you. Look, because I'm a nerd, boy. I've been done bought that book and a couple more related to it by the time we get back in here. Yeah.
Well, the Mount Shasta in the book they're gonna talk about the meeting place for the Order of Melchizedek. So I'm gonna just go on. I'm gonna go on and relax. So I'm just going and relax. Just going and relax because everybody might not know where I'm going. So that's okay.
Well, I do. Cause look, my last Reiki session, I was there with him, straight up, and yeah, like for real too. Like, and it was dope because in hindsight, now that I look at it, when I came out of it, it was such a powerful experience. I was like, still kind of, I guess, part of me was still kind of lingering in, coming back down to earth. But now that I think about it,
one of the ladies, the lady who taught Malachi York how to channel wrote that book, Erlene Cheney. That was one of Doc's teachers, Erlene Cheney.
Talking about Secrets of Mount Shasta?
Yeah, just something light. You know, just something light. Just something light. Just something light. That's all. Yeah. He already told you he had been in Astara. He said he was in Astara and the Rosicrucians and Freemason. Jokers don't never go look and see what Astara is.
Yes, sir.
Secrets of Mount Shasta. $8.36. Same, you know, little less than an old dime bag of reefer.
Man, listen. Yes, sir. Yeah,
and if you don't like it, if they don't like it, I'll buy it off of you. So if they get it and read it and don't like it, there's two people on the screen right now who will get your money right back to you. We'll snatch it right up off. Don't send it back to Amazon. We got you.
Look, I'm gonna have mine by the time I jump on that next one. I'll already have that one. I don't play about them books. Look, I like to pull them at that. When we started talking about Pac, I went and got my doggone copy of the Rose that grew from concrete, just because. Like we don't talk about it, we be about it out here, man. But boy, and Cozy said reefer. Look, we finna get up off of here, man, because we're gonna be in here reefering these rolling up these doggone words and gems and jewels all night, man. But nah, this was dope, bro. We're gonna have to definitely do it again, man. So
next time we might. Let me see. Yeah, next time we may get into something. Get into talking about some chi.
A brief story of QI, a brief history of QI. Yes, sir.
Chi.
That's
what's
up.
Chi. It's pronounced
Chi. I got you.
CHI. Just like Baba. Right, yes.
That's dope. That's dope.
All right,
family.
man.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right, family. We appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, bro. I'll definitely be reaching out, man. We're going to have to do it again.
I saw that last question. He tried to sneak on there. Yes, it is one of Earth's vortexes. Yes, it is.
Listen, that's why I said we got to go because they're going to keep them coming.
I really would, just as a last note, I really look forward to doing some mushrooms with some melanated folks in Mount Shasta. So if you are open, if somebody in the tribe is open to organizing that, it's at least 3 or 4 people, we can make that happen. I'm gonna just put that.
Bro, look, you grab your tribe, I grab mine, and look, you know what I'm saying? And look, I got a couple of other, dope guests that come on that got communities and tribes too, man. Look, we can make it do what it do and make a whole star seed, you know what I'm saying? Like crystal children, indigo, you know what I mean? Like a whole, solar, solar, SOL, solar, retreat, man. Make it do what it do. That sounds like a dope plan to me, for sure. Yes, sir. That's what's up. Well, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. That's been another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all again, man, to talk about the connections of Ifa and ancient Kemet, man. That's going to be another dope one, family. So I'm going to make it do what it do. Appreciate you, bro. I look forward to doing it again, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure, brother, for sure. Yes, sir. Peace. We'll see y'all in the next episode. We out. Peace. Odabo.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé sàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo sí ẹni gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́ forsake not your ancestors and praise your.